The Georgia Peach. I hope you're well today. We're gonna get in here a little bit. So esoteric.
It was some crazy ass shit going on. Like, I don't know, right? I feel like somebody could pull their straight to something like something where somebody did something with son or daughter, because the son or daughter has money and head or something else. Like, someone's not with someone for the right reasons. I feel like Virgo. Okay? I'm just reading already all over the place, and we only got one damn card. Virgo for today. Ain't this your opposite season? Pisces. That's what they say. This is your opposite. And so maybe when you're looking a little bit out the element right now, Virgo, you are, I don't know what they talk about. You know what Virgo is. How did you like a lot of my body? It's like really spiritual. This is not even on this plane. This is on like 5 people right here. 4 children. Now, so when it's kind of a letter to success at their job, but if you can do spiritual work or you guys are in your purpose in the mind where you're open, this is what you want to do, and you're getting.
Since everyone, both the gods of the world and people, says that nothing existed before chaos, I shall prove they are all wrong because they do not know the origin of chaos or its root. Here is the proof. Although certainly people in general are inclined to say that chaos is darkness, in actuality, chaos comes from a shadow, and it is the shadow that has been called darkness. The shadow comes from something that has existed from the beginning, and so it is obvious that something in the beginning existed before chaos came into being, and chaos came after what was in the beginning. Let us consider the facts of the matter, and particularly what was the beginning, from which chaos came. In this way will the truth be clearly demonstrated. After the world of the immortals was brought to completion out of the infinite, a being with this likeness, called Sophia, flowed from the pistis. This being expressed its wish that it come to resemble the first light, and at once its wish appeared as a heavenly likeness with an incomprehensible greatness. This being came to be between the immortals and what came after them, like what is above, and Sophia served as a veil separating humanity from the things above. The aeon of truth has no shadow within it, because infinite light shines everywhere within it. There is a shadow, however, outside it, and the shadow has been called darkness. From the shadow appeared a power set over the darkness, and the powers that came afterward called the shadow limitless chaos. From it, every sort of deity emerged, one after another, along with the whole world. So the shadow came afterward, called the shadow limitless chaos. From it, every sort of deity emerged, one after another, along with the whole world. So the shadow came after something that existed in the beginning, and then it became visible. The abyss also came from Pistis, whom we have mentioned. The shadow sensed that there was one stronger than it. It was jealous, and when it became pregnant by itself, all of a sudden it gave birth to envy. Since then, the principle of envy has appeared in all the aeons and their worlds. But envy turned out to be an aborted fetus without any spirit in it, and it came into being as a shadow in an expanse of watery substance. Bitter wrath came into being from the shadow and was cast into a region of chaos. Since that day, watery substance has been visible. What lurked in the shadow flowed out and appeared in chaos. Just as all the afterbirth of a woman who gives birth to a baby flows out, so also the matter that came into being from the shadow was cast out. Matter did not come out of chaos. It was in chaos, in a region of chaos. After these things happened, Pistis came and appeared over chaotic matter, which had been expelled like an aborted fetus, without any spirit in it. For chaos is all limitless darkness and unfathomable water. When Pistis saw what came into being from her deficiency, she was disturbed, and her disturbance appeared as something frightful, and it fled to her in the chaos. She turned to it and blew into its face in the abyss, below all of the heavens. When Pistis Sophia wanted to cause this thing with no spirit to be made into a likeness of the divine, and rule over matter and all its powers, for the first time an archon appeared out of the waters, lion-like in appearance, androgynous, with great authority in himself, but ignorant of where he came from. When Pistis Sophia saw him moving in the depths of the waters, she said to him, "Young man, move over here," which is the meaning of Yaldabaoth. Since then, the faculty of speech has come to expression, and the faculty of speech pertains to the gods, angels, and people. The gods, angels, and people have brought to completion what has come into being by means of the word. The ruler, Yaldabaoth, is ignorant of the power of Pistis. He did not see her face, but in the water he saw the likeness that spoke to him, and from that voice he called himself Yaldabaoth. Those who are perfect call him Ariel, because he is like a lion. After Yaldabaoth assumed authority over matter, Pistis Sophia withdrew up to her light. When the ruler saw his greatness, he saw only himself, and nothing else except water and darkness. He thought that only he existed. His thought was completed by means of the word, and it appeared as a spirit moving to and fro over the waters. When the spirit appeared, the ruler separated the watery substance to one region, and the dry substance to another region. From matter, the ruler created for himself a dwelling place and called it heaven, and from matter he created a footstool and called it earth. After this, the ruler had a thought in accordance with his nature, and he created an androgynous being by the means of the word. He opened his mouth and cooed to him. The child opened his eyes and saw his father, and he said to him, "E." So his father called him Yao. The ruler created a second son and cooed to him. The child opened his eyes and said to his father, "Eh." So his father called him Eloe. The ruler created a third son and cooed to him. The child opened his eyes and said to his father, As. So his father called him Astapheos. These are the three sons of their father. 7 androgynous beings appeared in chaos, and they have masculine names and feminine names. Yaldabaoth's feminine name is Forethought, Sambathis, which designates the weak. His son is called Yao, and his feminine name, Mastery. Sabaoth's feminine name is Divinity. Adonaius's name is Kingship. Elohim's feminine name is Envy. Oreos's feminine is Wealth. Astapheos's feminine name is Sophia. These are the 7 powers of the 7 heavens of chaos. The powers were androgynous in accordance with the immortal pattern that existed before them and the will of the Pistis, so that the weakness of what was from the beginning might have power to the end. You will find the function of the masculine names and powers in the Archangelic Book of Moses the Prophet. The feminine names are in the first book of Norea. Since the chief creator, Yaldabaoth, had great authorities at his disposal, he created beautiful heavens by means of the word as dwelling places for each of his sons, and in each heaven he created great glories, 7 times glorious. Each son had within his heaven thrones, mansions, temples, chariots, virgin spirits, and their glories, extending up to an invisible realm, as well as armies of divine, lordly, angelic, and archangelic powers, myriads without number, so they might serve. You will find a precise account of this in the first discourse of Aurea. Everything was completed in this way, up to the 6th heaven, the heaven of Sophia. This heaven and earth were disrupted by the troublemaker, who was beneath them all. The 6 heavens shook, for the powers of chaos did not know who had disturbed the heaven beneath them. When Pistis found out about the harm caused by the troublemaker, she blew her breath, and she bound him and cast him down to Tartaros. Since then, heaven and earth have established themselves through Sophia, who is the daughter of Yaldabaoth, and is beneath them all. After the heavens, their powers and their entire government were established. The chief creator exalted himself, and he was glorified by the whole army of angels. All the gods and their angels praised and glorified him. He was delighted. He boasted over and over again and said to them, I don't need anything. He said, I am God, and there is no other but me. When he said this, he sinned against all the immortals who speak forth, and they watched him carefully. When Pistis saw the impiety of the supreme ruler, she became angry. Without being seen, she said, You are wrong, Samael, which means blind God. An enlightened, immortal human exists before you and will appear within the forms you have shaped. The human will trample upon you as potter's clay is trampled, and you will descend with those who are yours to your mother, the abyss. And when your work comes to an end, all the deficiency that appeared from truth will be dissolved. It will cease to be, and it will be like what never was. After Pistis said this, She revealed the likeness of her greatness in the waters, and then she withdrew up to her light. And Sabaoth, son of Yaldabaoth, heard the voice of Pistis. He sang songs of praise to her, but he condemned his father and mother on account of the word of Pistis. He glorified her because she told them about the immortal human and the light of the human. Pistis Sophia pointed her finger and poured over him light from her light, as condemnation of his father. When Sabaoth was enlightened, he received great authority over all the powers of chaos, and since then he has been called Lord of the Powers. He hated his father, who is darkness, and his mother, who is the abyss.
I believe that the Bible is one of the most important books on the earth because it's really telling you some really interesting things. But if you don't understand how to read the symbols, it's never going to dawn on you how this stuff works. I think the New Testament is probably the most important story in the whole world, but not as history, but as a metaphor, as an encoded message. In the beginning of the Bible, in Genesis 1:1 says, in the King James Bible, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. But that's not what it says in the old ancient Hebrew or Phoenician language. That's not what it says in the original language. That's how it was translated from the English, in the King's English. However, they know more about the language today than what they did then. And so there's a lot of imperfections in the King James Bible that could be misleading unless you understand what the words actually meant in the ancient world. And so when you read in the beginning, this is Genesis 1:1, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. That's not what it says in Hebrew. It says, in the beginning of the creation, Elohim created the heavens and the earth. Elohim is not the word God.
Or C-A-R-S, cars, more than one. Well, that's exactly what Elohim means. El is God, Lohim is plural. So the correct understanding should be read, in the beginning, the gods created the heavens and the earth, not God. This is why, incidentally, in Genesis 1:28 says, God said, come, let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Who's us and our? Was God talking to himself? Later on in Genesis, I think it's 3, the scripture says, God said, here man has become as one of us, knowing good and evil. The point is, who is God talking about? Us. Here's man made in our image, after looking like us. Now he's like us. Who's us? Who's our? Well, it's Elohim, the gods. So consequently, what we're talking about here is that the gods created us, created the heavens and the earth and all things on it. But interesting, in Genesis 1:2 says, and the earth was without form and void. That's another mistranslation. In the original, it does not say that the earth was without form and void. Actually, it says, and the earth became a waste and a desolation. Consequently, if you go to Genesis 9, which is Genesis 9:1, where God is talking to Noah after the flood of Noah's day, and God says to Noah, now understanding that according to the story, everyone has been wiped off the earth in the great flood, and so God says to Noah and his sons, his 3 sons, go forth into the world now and multiply and replenish the earth. And you ask the question, wait a minute, the word is R-E, replenish the earth, meaning, not plenish, replenish, meaning do it again. Why? Well, simply because before Noah, there was a whole civilization. God brings a flood, according to the story. God brings a flood, destroys the world and all life on it. And now God is saying to Noah and his sons and their wives, go now on the earth and reproduce and fill the earth and replenish the earth. Well, that is a correct translation from the Hebrew, and I've talked to rabbis about that. And the word is replenish, R-E, means do it again. Okay, it makes sense that God would be telling Noah to redo it again. However, if you go back to Genesis 1:28, where God is creating, the first chapter of the Bible, where God is creating man, and man and woman, Adam and Eve, he says to Adam and Eve, multiply and replenish the earth. Do it again, replenished the earth. Implying, of course, do it again. What are you talking about doing again? Well, if you just read Genesis 1:2 correctly, it said, and the earth was without form and void. No, the earth became a waste and a desolation. So the rabbis will tell you, and the rabbinical reference works will tell you, that what is being said in Genesis 1:2 and in 1:28, when man and woman are being created, is that God is recreating all over again. And so consequently, the Bible, the Old Testament, is a story for this dispensation. This time, the world is being recreated. Now, what happened a million years ago, 10,000 or 100,000 years ago, that's none of your business. For you right now, this is what you need to understand. And the bottom line is that we are not the first creatures on the earth, the first time man's been on the earth. We now know that man has been on the earth probably millions and millions of years, and that for us to think that mankind was created 6,000, 7,000, 10,000 years ago is ludicrous, because we know better than that. And that's what the Bible is saying. God is saying, replenish the earth to Adam and Eve. Do it again. Who is God? Well, the scripture says, and this is a very difficult word to deal with, God, G-O-D, because that's a lot of baggage. What are you talking about when you talk about God? Well, God is dog spelled backwards, as I said. This is why churches have dogma in their teachings, because it goes back to Anubis, Anubis the dog star, Anubis the dog, the god of, and the ancient Egyptian religion. That in Genesis 1:2, the earth became a waste and a desolation. The two Hebrew words that are being translated there is tohu and vohu. Tohu, vohu, waste, desolation. There's only two places in the Bible where tohu, vohu is used, and those two places, they're always used together. And there's only two places to start with. One is in Jeremiah, and one is in Genesis 1:2. And in the scripture in Jeremiah says, I saw the earth in a vision, and the earth was tohu vohu, meaning the earth became, and my eyes, I saw the earth, and it became a waste.
Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Sky coming on to talk to you about the longer transit of Saturn in Pisces happening from March 7th, 2023 until May 24th of 2025, and then also by retrograde happening from September 1st, 2025 until February 14th of 2026. So we are, yes, indeed looking at about a 3-year transit here, with a bit of respite between the times of June and August of 2025. And then a revisiting of the transit for the rest of that year into 2026. So I always enjoy coming on to talk about these longer term transits because this is a way that astrology works really well, is really being able to zoom out and see the larger momentum at play. And this is certainly one of the transits that I've been most excited to speak about for you all. I'm really looking forward to it, because this is a very subtle but powerful energy that we're going to be having over these next 3 years. I don't think that a lot of us have expected that some of this energy would be what we were facing. We have perhaps quite a bit of mystery and intrigue and, again, subtlety to understand coming through this period of time. And in this video, I'm going to be providing you my own intuitive messages as well as my own astrological insights as a longtime practicing astrologer on this transit. And then I will also be going through sign by sign, providing some brief insights for each zodiac sign, which should have convenient video chapters below. If you're new, be sure to hit the subscribe button. I would love it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. I make a lot of content that I really love, and it is a pleasure to be reading for you all today. So hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications. Also, check out the description box below. This channel is on Patreon and has other offerings, which will be laid out there if you would like to explore that. So yeah, let's talk about Saturn in Pisces. I've really been looking forward to this content. It's one of those transits, you all, Saturn in Pisces, that you kind of like are excited for, but also a little bit like, what's the word? Not nervous about, but like, it's one of those transits that is very nuanced and very layered. Okay, so you can definitely see in this kind of time period that we'll see from 23 to 26, how people have to choose whether they want happy lives or not. Okay, because I can tell you that if you want to see hard, difficult, sad, unsure, confused, limiting things, that those will be there to be seen. Okay, the way in which we work towards happiness, the way in which we allow happiness or allow love into the experience would be on us during a transit like this, and perhaps not just like, you know, trying so hard to push itself into our lives. So there is starker division that happens during Saturn in Pisces, and through that division, a larger consolidation is at play. If you want, you can check out my video, Saturn in Astrology, where I talk about all of the Saturn signs and I talk more about the planet of Saturn. The Saturn in Pisces installment, although about people with the natal placement, would ring true for this time as well. Something that I talked about in that video a lot for Saturn in Pisces is how individuals with Saturn in Pisces are very well known for being able to like slip through the cracks, or being able to kind of like move in and move out of certain experiences unseen. So things that are unseen happening is going to be very prevalent during these 3 years. So not necessarily having obvious things in the life happening, things that change, but we don't quite maybe understand why that changed. Things not making sense for everybody. So people with really scientific, really mathematical minds struggle more during Saturn in Pisces, and it really is up to the more artistically minded and I suppose more creative types to lead us through this period of time. And of course there is a merging, and we have to also be careful with Saturn in Pisces. It can also be like, why won't you put pen to paper? Why won't you do the math of the situation? Why won't you figure this out? So it can go either way, but I do feel that creativity, art, music will flourish materially during this time. So if you've been wanting to monetize a career in art, this would be a period of time to do it. Saturn is the planet which rules material. Okay, it rules contracts. It is the natural ruler of Capricorn. And we know a lot about the sign of Capricorn right now. We've had, this has been a Capricorn period of time over these last few years, but that is also changing with the movement of Saturn into Pisces, as we also have Pluto moving from Capricorn, which it had been for 15 years about, and moving into Aquarius. So we are transitioning more into an Aquarian period of time, as of course we're in an age of Aquarius, and that's, I think, really happening now, certainly by 2024. And we're going to be feeling that. We're going to be feeling like sea legs, okay? We don't maybe totally understand some of these systems and infrastructures. We are going to have to deal with a vacillating foundation for Saturn in Pisces. It's like being on a ship, okay? It's like being on a boat. There's a rocking back and forth, and the equilibrium can be harder to find, which is why one of my major first intuitive messages about this transit is establishing your foundation before this transit really starts. So Saturn in Pisces just is not a great time to decide what you're going to like invest in for the rest of your life, you know, what career you're going to have for the rest of your life. I doubt that many people can, after really about the time period of May 2023, say that's what I'm doing for the rest of my life, or that's what I'm investing in for the rest of my life, or this is the location I'll live for the rest of my life. It is not meant to be that way at all. But what's hard about this transit in this cycle, in this astrological context, is that we have had Pluto and Capricorn, we've had that major Capricorn stellium in 2020, which 2020 like asserted this like macro cosmic energy that made a lot of people want to be like, I want the career that I'll have for the rest of my life. I want the house I'll have for the rest of my life. I want the investment portfolio I'll have for the rest of my life. And I just want things to be so like sturdy and solid and predictable that I'm like safe enough to do the stuff that matters. Somehow we have to honor both sides of this. So one of the recommendations I do have for really like the very beginning of this transit is kind of getting things where they're safe enough and you don't have to think too much about what you're dealing with. One of the main issues, or I would say one of the main focuses of Saturn in Pisces is meaningful focus. Okay, so we don't want a lot of distractive content, a lot of distractive like small level issues like, oh my God, that stock that I'm invested in is doing something weird. I need to like go and research that for a long time and like figure out how to change that. And it's just a random example, but anything that's kind of like nebulous or anything that's kind of like, whoa, for 3 or 4 days there, I just had to totally postpone all of the important stuff in my life to deal with some kind of like somewhat meaningless situation. Stuff like that we have to really get out ahead of at the beginning of this transit, because Saturn in Pisces demands that we do the stuff that matters. Okay, so if you're, and you would be feeling this, about the second half of Saturn in Aquarius also caused this feeling for a lot of people, but it's nothing compared to how it will be now, where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm afraid that what I'm involved in or what I'm providing a lot of my time to is not meaningful to me. And, you know, like things like waste of time, waste of money, opportunity cost, becoming very heavy, dense feelings for a lot of people very recently. And that will probably increase if a lot of our time and energy are going to wasteful, nebulous things, addictions, specifically things connected to tech, because we've had Saturn in Aquarius, we have Pluto moving into Aquarius, so we can start to see certain things like addiction to screen, addiction to media, plastic cultures, things like crypto, stock markets, things that are so virtualized at this point in time. It might be really shocking to some people to see how much stuff like that is taking from them in the long run. The long-term ledger of what that stuff took is a collectively existential threat right now. And I think that people who do the best are people who can be ready to move on from those things now and start to do the stuff that matters. So the biggest threat of this period of time, so Saturn in Pisces, it's not, do I consider it to be a threatening energy? No, but it's very much like boiling the frog. You know what I mean? It's like slowly things are suddenly in a state of emergency. Okay. Saturn in Pisces is not an angry energy. It's not even like a hot or fiery energy at all. It's a very cold, very, it can be a mean energy as well. It can be very sterile, cold, mean. This energy of Saturn diminishes the natural fertility of Pisces, but also it clarifies it a little bit more, makes it a little bit less confusing. So there is kind of this feeling of like, okay, I don't feel the same growth or fertility that I felt in a certain area, but at least I understand it. At least I can measure out some of these situations, as I do feel, you know, with having had this Jupiter-Neptune conjunction in Pisces that we had in 22, having Neptune still being towards the end of Pisces, there are a lot of things like that. Like, I just don't understand how this works, or I just don't understand what this is. Like people dancing with things, they don't know what it is, they don't know how it's made, they don't know what it means, but they're like basing a lot of.
Yeah, I saw you here the other night. Who it was in a live. It was a Capricorn live. I forgot who it was. I said, "Nigga, my girl, I ain't seen her in so long. I'm glad you're doing well. Thank you. I appreciate it. Sometimes I feel like, you know, don't nobody appreciate what I do, because I know I be trying to get messages out that I feel like some people need to hear, you know, because everybody don't listen to the same readers. I listen to the best, you know that."
A lot of their life force in it, or investing a lot of their time, money, or energy into it. Yeah, that is something that is probably going to experience fallout over these next 3 years. And I do predict that by the time of 2026, there will be just a lot more understanding collectively about the detriments of certain like media tech, even things that are like habits or certain substance considerations. You know, I have to be careful about talking about this stuff on YouTube. We have a weird little unsureness of like what we can really like talk about clearly. But yeah, check out my Patreon page below. I go more into stuff without having to be so sensitive over there. But yes, there's an allure, I think, that was generated in the year of 2022 about certain engagements and certain stories and certain very dramatic or even just addictive cycles. And right off the bat here with this Saturn and Pisces transit starting, that gets cut a little bit, and we do get a more realistic, I think a more realistic, certainly over the duration of the transit, a lot more of a realistic understanding of what we're involving in, and through that, we can free up a lot more time and space to do what really matters. So doing what really matters is a rare blessing for certain people in this transit. So for those of you who have a very like spiritual path, for those of you who like now know what your like life purpose is, you know, that ultimate cause we were talking about, this is the type of transit where that can actually be real, okay, where that can actually start to bear like real material results rather than just being confined to the mind. But okay, major contrast here. If it's unrealistic, or if it's a pipe dream, or if it is a coping mechanism, it's going to be seen like that. Okay, so again, I wouldn't recommend any drastic action at the beginning of this transit. In fact, we might want to get like halfway through the transit, so like well into 2024, before we're really like, I don't know, launching or announcing or going like crazy with certain things that are like, especially impulses. Impulses are not good with this transit. Wait till Saturn in Aries, okay? It's because this is also Saturn in the 12th sign, right? Okay, this is a culmination energy. It's the penultimate culmination energy, Saturn in Pisces. So it's not a time where something brand new happens. It's a time where there's a wrapping up. And it's like the elder. It's the energy of the elder, because Saturn is also, you know, the elder, and then Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. So this is like the final chapters of certain life experiences for people. And yes, it is in those final chapters that the perception of the next event comes. And that's a beautiful place to be. I wouldn't rush it. There's going to be some other energies coming in, like Jupiter in Aries, which we have at the beginning of this transit, Chiron in Aries. What else would I say? We're going to have, I believe, Mars in Sagittarius later this year. There's some kind of like loose cannon, like impulse energies coming through at the same time as this Saturn transit. And you want to channel those in more mundane ways while kind of giving yourself the perception of the grandeur of the future potential. So future tripping has been a big problem over the last few years, but I feel that it can become like perception of the future, or the planning, or the connection to a higher cause that hasn't yet come, can be a nice thing within this transit. But it's only nice if we're allowing more mundane energies to channel. So it's not, for example, going to be nice to be like locked up in the apartment or locked up in the house, kind of going crazy and like not channeling energy and thinking about all these like crazy things. Like I see that to be very prevalent right now. Like people have a lot of energy actually, but it is a more reserved culture that a lot of people are in right now.
Yeah, this esoteric guy, he go real deep, you know. I don't, you notice the readers that I promote over here, they're going to be the best, because I don't listen to all them old other ones. I could listen to a bunch of them readers a long time ago. You know, the ones that I've led to and I feel like are very spiritual, them the ones that I share with you all. But this is a deep one. This is like 2.5 hours here. And see, people don't understand. I be trying to tell them about these transits and these cycles and stuff like that. They don't be wanting to hear that. All they be wanting to hear is, those tarot readings, those ones being the clouds. Yeah, I just got my internet back on here. I had changed internet providers because the other one was a little too expensive. And see, people don't realize I be out here, I'm waiting on my money, from the government, and they trying to drag that shit out. You know how that goes. And, it costs me to do this kind of stuff. So they don't ever want to try to support me. They won't even hit the damn like button to try to give me an algorithm, Try to ask somebody for a little help, though. They ain't got it. But it's all good. The Most High always provide.
Now where they're staying home more, where they're more homebodies, which is not bad, but it's just kind of a hard combination that we have societally right now, where we have this new, greater injection of energy and purpose, but at the same time, it's kind of like held up or it's reserved in the home. So that can definitely cause like mental illness. I'm kidding. That can definitely cause, I don't even know what words to use for this. It's like it's like having such a surplus of energy that it feels like a deficit. I don't know what to call that, but it's like having so much for some people that they actually feel like they're lacking. So we need to definitely take this time of Saturn and Pisces, right, to redo certain parameters, redo certain budgets, and redo certain expenditures, not just of money, but of energy especially at this time. So what that means on the ground in real life is like, try to not just be sedentary, okay? That's a big thing with Saturn and Pisces. It can be quite a sedentary energy, actually. It's kind of like a stagnant basin of water, Saturn and Pisces, which is not healthy, and that's actually one of the most dangerous things in this reality is a stagnant basin of water. So it's one of the problems, like for example, individuals with Saturn and Pisces can be very prone to like stagnant waters within the body, and also like water processing issues within the body. I would definitely think to take your water supply into consideration during this time. Also, I just kind of feel that this is just a random psychic download, that certain waters are kind of like stripped, even if they're clean, even if they're pure, they're like stripped of certain nutritional deficiencies, perhaps during the filtration process. And it's like some people are kind of drinking a dead water and it might not be energizing them well. That's just a random thing, but we might want to think about like the water source and seeing how alive our water is at this time. Saturn and Pisces can be like water that just isn't like with the life-giving nutrients that it needs to give, even though it's like water and it's fine and it's like, contaminated water or anything. But I would also watch out for that as well with Saturn and Pisces, any types of contaminated water or I think that water is going to be an issue during this time. We do have water trines starting up, I believe this summer of 2023. With Mars and Saturn and Pisces, and then the Moon in Scorpio. So we're going to really be working with the water element in a new way at the beginning of this transit. Another thing I want to talk about is like limits or blocks placed on the theme of release. So the sign of Pisces is about release, and it's also like the death archetype. So it is a transformative energy, and it is a very strong energy of change and changing of structure and substance. So Saturn is a limiting energy, so it could limit certain changes or limit certain transformations as well. People might be kind of like shocked or kind of like made still by some of the chaos happening on the global stage, and that might cause people to kind of just bide their time or stay still as well. Saturn in Pisces is one of the more stagnant energies. So I don't know, that feels kind of heavy, but facing that, I would definitely lean into what you know you want to change, like what you know, definite yes in your life, and maybe just kind of build into that or connect with that so that you can actually experience this in a good way. So finding the things that you really enjoy, finding the true joys of your life and building those in a structured way is probably the best chance for this transit. What we definitely don't want to do is cling desperately to things that we know aren't good for us, or things that we don't like doing, jobs that we hate, and build those up. So it's very important going into this transit to know how you feel about things in your life, like truly. Like, what is the status of this job, this relationship, this investment of time, anything relating to where your time goes, right? Saturn is the ruling planet of time, and Pisces, it can like lose time. It's very timeless. So on the most positive side, we can really find the timeless joy in this transit, but also we can feel timeless or out of time because we're putting so much of our time into things that aren't in that joyful place. Nonetheless, I feel that for everybody, there will have to be some type of time put into something that maybe doesn't feel so good. For example, getting healthier, so like certain dietary changes or certain also things that just make you stronger or sturdier as a person. So better legal frameworks, better accounting principles, better circadian rhythms, sleeping at the same time every day, eating at the same time every day. For some people, that stuff would feel really painful to go through right now, like implementing those more sturdy systems, but I do feel that that is important. And it's better to be facing that kind of change instead of like one of the more harsh changes that Saturn and Pisces can represent, which is like having freedoms taken away or having type of entrapment. So debt traps, and then on the more difficult side of things, interventions or arrests or anything like that. Because Saturn and Pisces, right? Pisces is like ultimate freedom, and then Saturn is the antithesis of that. So that which was once free can now be like entrapped. But then also things can really slip away, so it can be very temporary, or it can, I definitely see some people like being confined during this transit, but actually feeling freer in that space of confinement than they did before. So there's like weird poetic things like that happen with this transit, like things that you think would be awful or things that you think would be like the worst case scenario, ending up feeling better than the place that you were at before, which felt quote unquote free. There's a lot of like breaking of like certain reality norms like that, which is the hard part for a lot of people. But it's kind of like a backhanded fortune or a backhanded blessing, because what they actually get is better, even though on pen and paper it might seem worse to others. So there's a major magic about that within that, and actually a really good way to get ahead in life if you want, where like things to other people can feel worse for you, but for you in reality it's better. That's a major strength for a lot of people as well, who can really work with this energy in a powerful way. What else do I have written down here before we get into the sign by sign? Okay, it's quite an inflationary energy, so it's very liquid, right? If we're talking economically, Saturn may pull it back a little bit and structure it, but nonetheless, Saturn in Pisces, it's high liquidity. It's very inflationary as well. I don't really want to talk too much about economics, because I find that this transit, while there's a little bit of that there, it's more of a spiritual and religious transit as well, which there could be more legalities placed into certain spiritualities or religions. Also, there could be scandals relating to like cults or religions or spiritualities, or like a growth of cults or a growth of very fanatical religious movements could happen during this time. But then also like more consolidation with like every kind of spiritual movement. So more of a civilization, and then more moral authority as well could crop up in society. And that seems like a hard part of this transit for a lot of people. It's like having to live up to some type of new moral authority, also new regulations relating to morality, spirituality, faith, could be possible. But then it doesn't come about in an obvious way either. This is like a frustrating thing to me about this transit, but it's important to talk about. Like, you might be listening to me talking about this point and thinking, oh my gosh, like religions are going to come up and like try to assert their power. It could happen, but it could also be like, for example, the dollar being like a religion, and that being like the ultimate authority, and like people not knowing it's like actually a religious like entity, but then it's like not, it's like an economic entity, but it almost becomes like a religious entity because of the way that it's like advertised, or the way that people allow it to have power over them. It's weird roundabout things like this with Saturn. Like, you don't even know it, but like the currency has become like a religion, and all of the laws are like based on the currency. So you're actually in like this is kind of like mind-bending stuff, but try to understand things are in different ways that you haven't thought about before. It's like, okay, if I'm sacrificing my happiness to make a paycheck, isn't that a somewhat like religious kind of like practice? Like, isn't that a somewhat, I don't want to even call it religious, but it's like that sacrifice. Like if I choose like money, or if one chooses money over their own happiness. That is a deeply spiritual choice to make. And it's like it's kind of like a sacrifice to, in the hope of receiving something in the future, which is a very religious kind of spiritual feeling. So with Saturn in Pisces, you have to be careful about placing too mundane a feeling on these things, like, oh no, it's not like that, I'm just like trying to save up enough money to do what I really want, or it has nothing to do, I don't care about money, I just, want to pay for my bills and stuff. And that's true, but over a lifetime, this has a bigger implication about an individual's life force. So we have to kind of understand the higher level of things, like to a limit, like, are things that mundane? And at a certain point in time, there is an opportunity cost, and there is a loss of youth and a spiritual level concern to like placing money at too much of the center of the life. So definitely watch out for that with Saturn in Pisces, like the worship of like money, right? Because Saturn does rule to some degree the monetary system, and Pisces being like a religious or spiritual energy. So people can get too spiritually connected to the monetary system, or the role that like money is playing in their life. And then also like things like social media, like people going to it so frequently, it is, money and social media are technically secular societal constructs, but we start to wonder, like, with as obsessive as people are getting and the way that people are like only thinking about these things and like only going to these things, how secular is it? Like I definitely think with Saturn and Pisces, the line between secular and I suppose non-secular gets blurred, and there are different ways of perceiving it. And it doesn't necessarily mean that what I've just said is the way that it is, but we have to kind of think about things from other perspectives during this time to kind of like check ourselves actually and think, oh my God, am I like worshiping the dollar? Am I like worshiping the social media app? Like, what's going on here? Am I like sacrificing so much of my life force and my youth to like build up something that I can't even like really have any authority over, like the aforementioned things? So I don't know. Just kind of food. I wasn't even expecting to speak about that like that, and that's just come through in this video. Okay, changing subject. I also want to talk about, what else do I want to talk about? Failures. Okay. A lot of things will fail during Saturn in Pisces. A lot of things. It is the archetype probably of failure, because Saturn by itself brings a questioning or a like regulation or a downward energy to whatever it touches, and Pisces is already the end, right? So that which is like right on the precipice or right close to being done with will probably get pushed into submission during this time and pushed into failure. So if you have anything in your own life that is like right on the edge of failure, you might want to cut your losses now. Also, relationships that are about to end, do you want it to just hang in the void and like, end when it's like at a worse time for you? Investments that are like just barely like functioning. It's better, I think, to just let it happen and let it be. Things that you're at your wit's end with. This doesn't have to be anything regarding relationships or money. This can be anything in life. Like really paying attention to that feeling of like, I'm just at my wit's end with this. I'm so exhausted with this. I'm so like tired of this being in my life. I'm so tired of this confusion. These are strong feelings that I feel coming up in the collective. And I think it would be great to do a survey in your own life of anything that's evoking that feeling. It doesn't necessarily mean that Saturn in Pisces will cause it to fail or cause it to end, but it's much better to have a failure or an ending during Saturn in Pisces than it is during Saturn in Aries. Saturn in Aries is the breath of life. It's the material support of the new spark as the phoenix begins its rising process again. To work more with the astrological timing, it's good to take strategic losses during Saturn in Pisces. Okay, that's it. Hallelujah. Okay, I'm kidding. Strategic losses during Saturn in Pisces. Oh my God, that's like the best thing that you can do. Like, okay, I've really been struggling with like weight that's just so heavy on me and I'm so tired of it. Let's strategically lose a little bit of that. Okay, I have a business that's way too bulky and I can't stand it. It's causing me so much strife. I don't understand how it works. It all feels like a gamble. Okay, let's strategically cut that down a little bit. strategic cuts, strategic losses, strategic reductions with Saturn and Pisces are really good because we just need time, okay? You need time during Saturn and Pisces to think about the important stuff. It's also like the penultimate wisdom, right? Like the elder, the wisdom that comes to the elder, the wisdom that only the elder can know, Saturn and Pisces. So it's quite a shame under this transit to be obsessing about things that you actually have no authority over and to be wasting all of your time, money, and wisdom on things which are actually not of substance or of real connection to your life. Okay, so again, trying to survey what that is, like what you actually have control over, what you actually don't, what is a waste of time, what is a loss of time, and how you can maybe reclaim your time, okay? That's really good for this transit. Anything else before the sign by sign? Okay, I just have written down here, okay, two things, and these are like kind of more positive, but we'll see. Can you let love come through during this transit? There's a big test of love, all right? Can love overcome hate? Can love overcome anger? Because of the way that losses are so strategic during this transit, it can also be like loss of love, or it can be like not being willing to take love into account. It can be kind of like merciless, okay? Saturn and Pisces, kind of ruthless and merciless, and I do feel that it's important to really venerate life and to venerate that which is so rare on this planet, which is love. So there are like some really like merciless business people, I feel, during this time, really merciless figures also who don't have any contact to the theme of love or don't have any contact to the theme of like care or preservation of life. And after this transit, it's going to be like edgy. It's going to be kind of cool during this transit, but there can absolutely be consequences on the other side of this transit if people are like really ruthless and really merciless and crazy. We do have the nodal axis about to move into Aries and Libra. Okay, we do have a very like masculine, kind of angry energy of Saturn and Aries on the other side of it, which can definitely take things into a very fast repercussion on a very material level. I don't really want to spell what that means because it's different in different places, but try to check yourself with any themes of careless mercilessness, okay, or also tutorial behavior from anybody, okay? I'm not just talking about people in high rungs of society at all, actually. This is very micro, it's even more micro than it is macro, but like just like trying to control other people, trying to take control of like things that aren't yours, you know, that's very prevalent right now. Saturn in Pisces also blurs the lines of ownership as well. Who has what, who is in charge of what, who can do this or that, and because of that, anybody with a dictatorial kind of like internal grid is very successful during Saturn and Pisces because no one knows. Everyone's really confused about like what's going on, and then all of a sudden someone's like there and like it's all changed. How long lasting that can be, I don't know, because again, Saturn in Aries really changes things, but just for individuals, it's really good to work with love, acceptance, and the understanding of the humanity of others. Watch out for any forms of persecution or any forms of loss of like emotional control. So Saturn in Pisces is very consequential for tantrums, for loss of emotional control, crying all the time. Saturn limits that, okay? It limits the emotional nature of Pisces. So I do see people getting like immediately, like for example, you're in a job and you have like a temper tantrum and the boss sees it and immediately the job is lost, okay? Or you're on the floor and you have like even just like a small heated exchange with like a customer or something, and all of a sudden the job is lost, okay? So it's very consequential. So it's kind of like, I think, important with this transit to be very on and aware, and to maybe devote some periods of time to like more Piscean things like music, art, where you can really just channel that like open-ended, kind of flexible, you know, like if you're angry, like maybe channeling that into music instead of like interpersonal relationships would be better. because that could actually help you in the long run. And maybe you could like release an album, or you could really keep that in a space where it's appropriate. So like dividing lines with Saturn and Pisces, like it's okay in the music or art world to express anger, but as for like the business and financial world, very consequential. And even vice versa. Okay. So maybe, okay, this is strange, but like maybe putting a super like monetary or calm, cool, collected feeling onto your art or music could also be a loss. So like just understanding what types of demeanors work in what areas is important, so that there aren't just like major losses that weren't intended during this time. Okay, so ending the intuitive messages on a very positive note. If you are a super put together person who's been working for a very long time, trying to be very responsible, being responsible with your time, money, and energy, handling unfinished business, not escaping reality, not also, getting crazy with like hate or anger towards other people. This can also be one of the most rewarding energies that actually exists in astrology. I'm just getting as a random channeling because it is Saturn in the eldest sign. And even though it's not totally great in Pisces because Saturn and Neptune don't get along so well, this nonetheless can be very rewarding and very beautiful. Okay, so beauty and can manifest. I'm seeing some people's houses or living spaces being turned almost into like curated museums of beauty for only them, like private escapes, private abundance. Certain people also getting a lot of service during this time if the karma is good. If the karma is really strong, you can really, really elevate during Saturn in Pisces. And all of a sudden you can go from almost like a starving college student to like, I don't even know how I would label it, but I'm definitely seeing some people like totally renovating their houses during this time and having like perfect living spaces with assistance from other people as well, and the ability to delegate, or the ability to also make connections with people who create beautiful things. So like having artists create things for your home, having fists create things for your home, having like tailors, there's like a level of living that some people can achieve with Saturn in Pisces that is sublime. Okay, but that's going to take a karmic home run. Okay, and it doesn't mean that you just get to like really almost like be in it as if you were in like a sauna or something and just kind of like exhale, though that sounds really nice too. I feel that those situations where that type of beauty or material is granted requires almost a very strong purpose going alongside it. Because also with Saturn in Pisces, there can be a kind of like, call it like a Marie Antoinette syndrome, really not like that, but for lack of a better word, like people who are just like experiencing luxury for the sake of luxury, and then things can be taken away as well. But for people with purpose and for people with good karma, it can also be given and supported. So try to channel through love, try to channel through, and also really just be careful about succumbing to anger or hate or jealousy or resentment or envy. Saturn and Pisces can be very close to like the quote unquote 7 deadly sins. All of the water signs can be like that. So it can be like being pushed over the edge or like giving up on certain things in its negative sense, but through love and through beauty manifesting and through the trust of youth and life, I believe that this transit can be really, really just magical. Okay. But remember to keep responsible, accountable, and purposeful in what you're doing. Nothing is like empty with Saturn and Pisces. There needs to be substance. There needs to be a lot of filling of substantial energies during this time, and not just like nothing. Okay. Anyway, everyone, I hope that that's resonated. We're about 40 minutes in, and we're about to go into the sign by sign now. I'm very excited to talk about all 12 of the signs. Again, during this brief intermission, I suppose, be sure to hit the subscribe button to this channel if you're new. This channel is on Patreon. I do weekly forecasts over there called T-Chats, and it's a great service. So definitely check out the Patreon page if you want to support. There's also a join button here on YouTube, which I'm hoping to bring more to in the future, but that's another easy way to support. and comment below about what Saturn in Pisces means to you. Okay, without further ado, let's get into the sign by sign. So Aries, for this 3-year period of 2023 to 2026, Saturn in Pisces. Okay, Aries, Saturn in Pisces for you. So Saturn in your collective 12th house, going through Pisces. Yes, it is going to be a time of really solidifying your mindsets and understanding your why factor. I do feel that you have a major consolidation of focus over this 3-year cycle. So if you've been kind of bouncing around, or if you've kind of been like volatile or fluctuating a lot in your career sector, especially, I think that this 3-year period will have you taking on a mindset where there's more like solidity and stability with your career. Also, I feel that you can become much more like healthy. Okay, so actually this might be an interesting time to take on a really good therapist or a really good helper or assistant. Also, you can find that you just have really special relationships starting to form in this period of time with a very striking, poignant, healing people. So people even who you don't expect to like be a therapist, maybe even like playing the role of that. So like it might, because again, Saturn in Pisces is very much a transit that has things kind of coming in weird roundabout ways. So maybe you don't even have to like go to therapy in order to have this healing process. Like just by having like a certain coworker, you have like the same healing process, or even like pets or something end up being very healing for you. So the main thing for you during this transit is the special way in which things you didn't expect to be so healing become healing, which then allows you or makes it easy for you to progress in other areas of your life. Also, on the counter side, Saturn in the 12th house can indicate like a limit or some type of reduction within the unconscious. So you might be thinking less about deeper matters or less about deep unconscious things, and there might be more of a surface level way that you're thinking. But then by about halfway through the transit, you could see that all of a sudden you're becoming really deep with what you're thinking about, and there could be a very strong spiritual context to what you're going through. And there certainly is even in the early part of the transit, but I just feel that about that halfway point, like halfway through about 2024 is going to be a very suddenly like spiritual time for you, where you might see that you're not even having to try, but there's a major blooming or prosperity wrapping around you, especially just in your mindset and in your state of being. It might not be as physical, but it could be like also physical events that create a much healthier mindset for you. I also feel that this transit for you is a good time to not think too heavily about things like the density of overthinking or the density of getting too like stuck in the mind as well seems harmful. And it's going to be important to get into the body, but I've been recommending that for you guys for a long time anyway. So I think that many Aries people are already kind of there. And also for other Aries people, this is kind of a non sequitur transit, so you might not really see that huge of a difference in the Saturn energy of your life. So like career, commitments, stability, it might kind of be like keeping on, keeping on. But then for others of you, especially Aries people with Pisces placement, strong water placement in your chart, also something in Virgo, that this transit really hits in a strong way. It's going to be a time of change in faith as well, or just consolidating a further faith that you have as well. So you could be having like a major spiritual growth or a major inclination to like work with other people or work within some type of larger healing effort, which doesn't feel bad, but just remember that Saturn will be coming into Aries, into your sign in 2026. And that might be the best way to actually think about this transit, is it's like the connecting time to your sign Saturn return. Okay, so the Saturn return to the sign of Aries will come in actually in later 2025, but then really that's in 2026. It's probably very, very smart to get things in order and to start to create more stable systems in your life so that when Saturn comes into your sign, you're ready to really operate well. What do you want to accomplish right before certain major life events happen? What do you want to not have to be dealing with, or what do you want to not have to be facing during really, really pivots of your life that require so much focus and attention? This transit, this 3-year transit, you're like maybe the only sign that I feel this for Saturn in Pisces. It's you, and it's also kind of Capricorn as well. Either of the semi-sextile, Aquarius. Either of the semi-sextile angles to Saturn and Pisces, Aquarius and Aries, both have a nice kind of window here of leeway and the opportunity to get things together before things really blast off in a very positive way, potentially. It's even stronger for you than it is for Aquarius, though, because again, it's Saturn moving towards you, and it's Saturn having finished in Aquarius, and it's already past them. So for most signs, by the time Saturn gets into Pisces, they already have to be like doing the real stuff. And I was talking in the intuitive part about how people really have to have things ready and systematized, and things kind of like geared towards doing the stuff that matters. You, on the other hand, are a bit of an exception and can actually postpone a little bit. You can have like very nice vacations here, also vacations of mind, so like just not having to think about the hard stuff, not having to go too crazy. But alongside that, I would methodically start basically aligning your pieces on the chessboard in a stable way, so that you just have like a good momentum by 2026. Some Aries, like the flaw of this is that some Aries might also like just like kind of grow slower with this transit. It's not all Aries people. Saturn in Pisces for an Aries person is very much like slowing down and kind of just like feeling it out and actually enjoying life. But Aries is a funny sign where it's like, of course, everybody wants to enjoy life, but sometimes Aries kind of wants a hard challenge. And you might just not have that during this transit, unless you have something in your chart that Saturn in Pisces really like hits in a strong way. But what a great opportunity to get into a preparational phase and to set things right. And also a nice time for letting off steam and for a more methodical or kind of like step-by-step healing. So very interesting. Okay, moving on. I want to talk about Taurus for Saturn in Pisces. Okay, Taurus, let's talk about you. Okay, wow, interesting. Of course, we're moving into this transit with the nodes being on your axis, so you and Scorpio both have a lot to reconcile with this Saturn. It's much more, for example, than the aforementioned sign of Aries. It just so much depends on the karma that you have entering the transit. I see some Taurus people just like thriving and prospering. And like I was talking about in the intuitive messages, you can definitely be one of the signs who now can like delegate anything that you want, can have like the perfect home, can have like a lot of help and like good people helping you, good people on your team, good sturdy people supporting you. Also a feeling of like your own personal morals aligning with the greater collective's morals. Like you might be one of the only signs that could be a beneficiary of this sort of like moral legalism that I'm feeling becoming a very strong social construct during this time. But that's also a lot of pressure to be like a beneficiary of that. And very legalistic indeed, with lots of parameters and lots of like thought being having to be placed into like every single step that is made and seen from so many different angles, and you know, kind of gets into a Nine of Swords territory. But for you, you might just have like the most natural way to work with that, which could be really cool. This sort of being, if you have like a good karmic spectrum, and of course we're dealing with the whole spectrum here in this very public video. If you're kind of struggling more, or if it's good to gauge this time with like the Saturn in Capricorn and Saturn in Aquarius time period, like how you've basically been, how you've been growing, what the state of growth in your life is. If it's felt tough, if you feel like you've had to like basically get away from things, like you've had to just like remove yourself from certain environments, or if you feel like you have I don't know, but at the mercy of so many different people, different industries, different careers, kind of like all over the place. This is going to be a really like further fracturing energy. Okay. So that's not going to be bad in the long run, because ultimately that's going to really get you together. So it's just such a, I would consider it an intensifying transit. So basically whatever you have going, Taurus, is going to get majorly intensified. So if you've been kind of like steadily growing, that's going to get intensified, and it's going to like give you like a 3x multiplier at least for your growth. If you've been like having, especially what I want to call like disastrous mindsets, such as like the more stressed I get, the more I can cope with addictions and social media, the more that I fear what other people think of me, the more that I can lie. Any kind of nihilism, any kind of like constant self-convincing that like other people can never change, or the world is just like a dark place, or I'm just like kind of doomed to have certain like bad things and I'm going to stop like thinking otherwise. There can be a growth of nihilism, especially if there's been a hard path, and I would definitely suggest to get over it and to stop getting so convinced about certain long-term nihilistic manifestational grids, because what's also going to happen is you, a Taurus person, during this time, whether it's good or bad karma, are going to see like exceptions. So, wow, like I really counted that person out, or somebody really counted me out, or thought that I couldn't succeed, and all of a sudden it's just like put right in front of me how wrong that was. Okay, so the fifth element of this clashes a little bit from Saturn and Pisces, but the clash creates a benefit for you down the line. So it's very important, Taurus. Yeah, also for Scorpio, very important to understand that sometimes like what we see in the current moment as a bad situation might be a blessing down the road. That for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And why I bring this up, even more than just like the comfort of knowing like, okay, if something bad happens to me, maybe I can understand that that means in the future I'm going to do even better. That's great. Definitely give yourself that as well. I more so bring this up because you want to be very careful about ever being someone who causes someone else a bad situation. As like a Taurus Scorpio during this time, you are like really creating another person's blessings. So it's kind of like getting better at math and getting also out of these mindsets, right, that are like too simple. Okay. I've been telling everyone for like the last 4 or 5 years, simplify, simplify, simplify. That's not how it's going to work with Saturn and Pisces. This is not simple. The stuff that we're looking at here, this is not something that we need to assert really long-term assurances about. Okay? So like saying that person is a bad person and it's never going to change and people never change is a great recipe for getting like really surprised by how life works. So you're going to be surprised during Saturn and Pisces. So if you're a Taurus who enjoys surprise, it's great. But I know that Taurus is also a sign, like all the fixed signs, who wants assurances and wants insurance and wants to know that things will be a certain way. I would detach from that as much as possible and stop trying to control stuff so much. And I would also, especially as it relates to like other people's free will choices or other people's like momentums, do not try to control that if you have any value over like the ease of your life or the because the universe doesn't play with Saturn and Pisces. It can be like really severe. Like if we're just like so obstinately clinging on to the wrong path or so obstinately clinging on to difficulties, it really gets real, and it shows us the way that things are in very creative roundabout ways sometimes. So the way that I see this also is like you having had this effect on other people too. So other people might be very surprised at you, or you might be surprised at some of the people in your life that you don't connect to anymore. And this is basically like a way to remind us of how powerful we truly are, and also how there is some form of hierarchy or like higher force. Because I feel that Taurus is a sign that does have to like maybe think about like what is the higher force will within this equation, and how can I get stronger. So by releasing, by allowing other people basically to have the benefit of their own free will, I think that you will grow and grow and grow. And I also think at a smaller, more positive level, that this is a time like unlike any other to just like heal, okay, in a very real way, by divesting yourself of any type of obsession with other people's momentums, any types of self-fulfilling prophecies or control grids, and just, I don't know, get some flowers into your house, take it down a level. Yes, working with astrologers, therapists, life coaches could be very rewarding for you now, if you're up for it. So thank you, Taurus. Let's move on. Okay, Geminis, hello. Okay, wow. We have Saturn in a fellow mutable sign for the first time since 2017 when it was in Sagittarius. Thank goodness for you, right? Wow, Saturn is much better in a mutable sign for you. And those were trials that you had the prior 6 months to this transit starting. So when Mars went into Gemini, gosh, I don't even remember how long ago that was. That was like September or something. I know it was retrograding by October, and is still currently direct in Gemini now when I'm filming this here in March 2023. It was a crazy long transit of Mars in Gemini. And now we have Mars's fellow malefic planet of Saturn moving in a square angle towards you in Pisces. It can be catastrophic, but this can benefit you. And that's basically like the equation that I'm seeing with Saturn in Pisces. It's like that which hurts or causes us problems ends up being a benefit down the road. But yeah, we have to go through that sometimes. So I'm not saying that for every Gemini person there's going to be a bad event or something negative. In fact, I think that Mars was more harsh in your sign. I do feel that you need to really move in to what is fresh in your life and materialize around that. Try to take yourself out of harsh things. Try to take yourself out of any kinds of like meanness or aggressiveness or argumentative battles. Choose your battles wisely is something that I'm hearing this transit. So there could be, with Mars having been in your sign and also being in your sign as this transit begins, that will have an effect on the next 3 years. So you could be like ready to take it on. Like you could be ready to like file that lawsuit. You could be like ready to, I don't know, take something over, or ready to set up shop somewhere. There can be all forms of like quote unquote taking over. And I see this in like positive ways for you too. So like getting promoted and having more oversight, essentially like taking over a company, getting more market share in something, taking it over. Also doing it in weird roundabout ways, like by having a good relationship with somebody who already has like share, like you've like kind of feel as if you've taken something over. So I feel this to be like not really a good or bad thing. But I do kind of feel like you have to be careful about such complex chains of people or such complex chains of real life. Okay, so being a bigger stakeholder in anything, are you prepared to pick up the pieces of other people's lives? Saturn in Pisces also deals with picking up the pieces. It deals with fragmentation. It deals with broken things. It deals with failures and endings, of course, as we were talking about. And I just don't think that Gemini is a sign that actually understands. No, I'm kidding. Gemini is not a sign that prefers to work with such like broken systems, but there could be an allure to it, you know, like in the same way that like certain really opportunistic people might invest in something as it's in a really bad shape, and because it's in a really bad shape, it's cheaper, so it's like a better deal. I'm feeling like that with Gemini, like, oh my gosh, now's my chance to finally do that because it's in such a bad chaos that I can like get in, or it's actually like available to me now because of how chaotic things are. Also things such as like, wow, this side of town has become so disrupted that there's like a bunch of like abandoned buildings and they're so cheap, and now I can like finally, I don't know, be like a warehouse landlord or something because these warehouses are so cheap. And but that's because of some type of catastrophic event. And are you ready to take on that like political context? Okay, so that's what I would just warn you of during this transit, during this entire 3 years, Gemini. If things are too good to be true, they are. And there are cans of worms with Saturn Pisces that sometimes, like a Gemini or a Sagittarius, this axis cannot quite perceive of, or is like too excited about certain things to really like delve. So those of you Geminis who are good researchers, you have a leg up. Try to research anything that you're involving yourself in. Try to ask why. Why is this available to me? Why is this on sale? Why is this happening? On the other side, speaking from a completely like spiritual perspective, I'm not thinking of like economics or politics or anything like that. There's something about getting the full picture, or something about actually understanding the way things were or the way things are in your life, rather than having like tip of the iceberg situations. Like imagine like perceiving of like 70 different iceberg tips, but then like how much do you actually connect to in your life? You know what I mean? Like, okay, we have all these different tips of the iceberg that we understand, but what happens when the water recedes? Or what happens when things shift and it's no longer that tip anymore? It's something that we're unprivy to the existence of. And because of the numerousness of the undertaking, this shift in water can be like really overwhelming. So just watch out for putting yourself into overwhelming situations. And I would scale back, okay, for every sign, but especially for a sign like Gemini, who can be kind of like happy-go-lucky. Be happy-go-lucky, absolutely, but I wouldn't do it with anything that puts too much on the line. So like credit or money you don't have, or also types of people you don't know, industries you don't understand. It seems that you need to research more, and that the success for you during this time is in that deeper research and in understanding the meat of your considerations rather than the tips of those icebergs. Okay, let's move on. Okay, we have Cancer. I'm just writing down your timestamp, Cancer. Okay, water signs, Saturn and Pisces. Whoa, first water sign. Your traumas of the past are going to take on a different form now. Okay, so there is a different context to why things happened. Okay, so like this sounds very simple, but you might have had certain like narratives or certain ideas about like why your heart was broken, why that relationship had to end, why that person had to be like the rebound. Okay, these are going to get fractured, fragmented, and reconsolidated with like their own independent life forces. So like basically careful with end of like weird energy manipulation, because you just don't know what these things, the lives that of their own that these things will take on. So I'm seeing Cancers that for like the first half of this transit, like honestly until like mid 2024, it's just totally going to be personal. Okay, everything's going to become very personal. Everything's going to be like, does this add up? You might want to balance your checkbook. You might want to look through your accounts to like start to understand how things like actually work. You might want to like actually do math or start learning algebra or start doing something that's like totally not in the feely zone. Because I feel that a lot of the feely zone has like us, okay, all water signs in Saturn and Pisces really skewed or strange energetic terror, not understanding why this has happened, not understanding who we are, not understanding how all these years passed, and like that situation that was just so good or so perfect for us hasn't come to pass. Okay. Capricorn, Saturn and Pisces, good. It's good. Sextile, right? Kind of like the energy of Taurus as well. You could listen to that one as well to get some understanding. But Capricorn, it's way better because of course Saturn is your ruling planet. So to have your ruling planet in sextile to you is a great energy. You guys have needed this, okay? Because it's going to, kind of as I was saying for Sagittarius, break you out of certain contractual obligations. You can absolutely have people breaking contract with you. You can have also really I would say, oppressed contracts be ended. So that's possible for you all, but not also guaranteed in any way. But try to see this at a bigger philosophical level. Like, what philosophical or sort of damaging contracts am I taking part in at my own level of self, or what things am I holding up, like, constantly eating fast food, constantly partaking in an addiction. These are contracts, right, that we don't realize are contracts. How can you break with some of those things and give yourself a healthier vision of life now? You're going to probably be compensated for something during this transit. So there can be inheritance. There can be also people coming back with apologies. People, even after like 30 or 40 years of pain and trauma, asking for your forgiveness or forgiving you as well. I do see the energy of forgiveness coming up for you guys. And there's going to be a way that this transit feels only about like money and contracts, but at the deeper level, you understand by the end of this transit that none of that even matters. And your deeper soul level path, also possibly like new religious studies or understanding religions, understanding faith coming in for you too, that basically helps for you to turn away or wash away, I would say, with Saturn and Pisces, some of this really nagging small level material stuff, which I feel has been a major debilitation for the sign of Capricorn over the last 15 years with Pluto in your sign. Okay, a lot of Capricorns have gotten really obsessed with small things like budgets and fees and gains and losses. And I feel that a lot of Capricorns have really coped with that, like coping with the entrepreneurial mindset, coping with the banking system, coping with monetary considerations, and only thinking about that or only thinking about that in kind of like a manic way. So Pluto changes sign at near the same time, within a few weeks that this Saturn in Pisces starts. And it's just totally different. So now there's a bigger scope. Now there's a more worldly, or I'd actually say less worldly, more universal energy that is working with you, and that can also feel very overwhelming. Yes, and don't let this resonate if it doesn't, but I do see some Capricorns or people who have been just really materialistic. This is not for all Capricorns. Seeing that like a long period of time, perhaps even the entire duration of Pluto in Capricorn, wasn't necessarily wasted, but like the meat of it wasn't true, or the meat of it didn't have a purity, and now there's like a picking up of the pieces or a fragmentation from the last 15 years where it's like, I only thought about money, I only thought about very skin level stuff, or now due to inflation, like all of that money doesn't mean anything, and because of my own mindsets or philosophies that were so basically subservient to the construct of money, it's like a complete loss of time or something like that. That's like the worst case scenario, but that can also be very liberating and can lead to a much more potent spiritual path. It's not meant to be discouraging, but it's meant to kind of be an example for any Capricorns who are just like too dialed into materialism, because this transit for all of the zodiac signs definitely harms the materialistic construct, and people who are too tied to that, I do feel, get like net negative experiences at this time. Also, I definitely see some really powerful things for your sign. Relief. Okay, release. What a great time for deep tissue massage, releasing knots. I was talking for one of the other signs, I don't remember which one it is, about how a lot of the problems or a lot of the compensation grids that had come in over the last few years might just be as a result of muscle knots generating some type of like toxic environment in the body. It's a wonderful time for cleansing and detoxing, Saturn in Pisces. And finally having relief for something that had not been relieved for a long time. So yes, grudges, estrangements, family traumas that lead to long-lasting divisions can experience relief during this time. So that's hopeful, but only possible if the long-running constructs that generated the grudge or the estrangement are themselves relieved. So what we can't do is expect relief without changing. Okay? Or to expect things outside of ourselves to settle down or to move into a state of healing without a change. Okay. And I feel that this is a big kind of like societal or global flaw right now, is like just kind of like becoming still and expecting things to change. So you could struggle to, if you're too still, so I would definitely move the body during Saturn in Pisces, right? Stagnant water is one of the symbols of transit, like a stagnant basin of water. So try to not let your body be like a stagnant basin of water, okay? You'd be surprised about how many people are kind of in that state right now because of how exhausted the energy has been over these last few years. Like a lot of people just want stillness and meditation. So try to incorporate more movement if you can, even hiring physical trainers. This can happen for anybody at any age. Even if you're in your 80s, I feel that there are going to be people. That's another great thing about Saturn in Pisces, is weird miscellaneous services being available. So you can have people at any age helping you to like move around more, helping you to heal and get stronger. It is just a matter of seeking it out. So anyway, let's move on to Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius, Saturn in Pisces. Let's see. Okay, you get relief. Saturn has been in your sign now since the end of 2020, and it's finally changing. So you've had a Saturn return to your collective sign. And it's always nice to have a Scorpio, Saturn in Pisces transit 2023 to 2026. Let's talk about you. Okay, so I'm getting quite a few different messages. There's something about your patience that's really changing during this time, and I would really focus on that theme of patience. So it might not be the way that you expect as well. So you might have no more patience for a certain thing that you've been like constantly entertaining or constantly kind of like thinking about. I am seeing some Scorpios basically like getting to the wit's end with certain things and finishing. So as Scorpio is the natural 8th house ruled by Pluto, you have in common with the sign of Pisces the fact that you have a connection to the ending archetype or the death archetype. So Saturn in Pisces in that way is really powerful for you, right? You're probably one of the only signs that can really harness this in a very powerful way, or a very also like purposeful way, as most of the other signs, not all, kind of just get really overwhelmed by this kind of energy. But there's definitely room for Scorpios to do well when other people don't. You might be the only sign really gaining as other people lose, but you can't really let it go to your head either, because I can also see that ego can really get in your way during this transit. So Saturn in Pisces does not do very well with really strong egos, so it really just depends on the Scorpio. Of course, Scorpio is one of the signs that can naturally be much more egotistical, so if the ego is really high, you can also be very overwhelmed by this transit. But if you can kind of pull the ego down a little bit and replace it with a much more pure form purpose, I think that this can be an incredible time of progress for you. But you probably won't come out of this transit with the same structures that you end this transit. So 2023 to 2026 for you will be a time of transitioning structures, changing foundations, and also probably belief systems and mindsets might change or become more traditional, or again, it depends on how you're entering the transit, like how traditional you consider yourself, or how also unconventional you consider yourself. You might see a switch or a change in that depending on how you're moving into the transit. I do feel that you have to become more patient with other things though. Okay, so while you are no longer patient for certain like addictions, or also I feel that Scorpio just really struggles to like entertain vapid things now. So you might used to have been very connected to appearances, and I think that you still are, but it's not so vapid. Okay, so you might not have patience for like makeup tutorials on YouTube, whereas before it might have been something that you really enjoyed, and you might have really been into cultures like that. I feel that skin deep cultures can really plummet for you during this time, and also things that are more substantial really increase, and I think that that's supported, and you've probably been feeling that for quite a while now, if that resonates. Also for Scorpio, I feel that you need to find more value in things that you already have. Okay, so grass is greener on the other side complex, I believe, like I was saying, for Cancer and Taurus both. That can be a big threat to you now and can lead you to put too much on the line during this transit. So by thinking that what you currently have doesn't have value, you might make like a desperate leap towards a totally different kind of life. And that's not in time. When Saturn goes into Aries, that can be more of a potential for you, but I just don't see it for Saturn in Pisces. Those of you who are wanting to totally change everything, like destroy everything, sell everything, repurchase different things in their place, switching things, trading things, is not going to be in time for you. But you might have the urge because of Uranus and Taurus, because of the nodal axis being in your sign. But I would think that Saturn in Aquarius was actually better for that. And I would have seen most of that happening during that window of late 2020 until early 2023. Now 2023 to 2026 is more of a gradual increase and fortification, consolidation of what you already have. And I'm sorry to say it for some of you, because some of you, I know that there are a lot of Scorpios who are kind of like just waiting to like have a totally different life. That is not going to feel the way you think that it does during this transit, though. But it won't be that long until there are more supportive energies for you to change everything. Also for Scorpio, really watch out for any forms of cruelty, any forms of, lack of empathy, lack of sympathy. You can lose a lot of support during this time. You can lose a lot of... you can also have people just like thinking differently of you or feeling like they have to be more on guard with you, which is actually a disempowerment for you. So this is where the ego is a big danger again. So like egoically standing in power and making other people like fearful or making other people feel uncomfortable or anything like that. You might think that that's you looking really powerful and you like quote unquote standing in your power, but it actually disempowers you while you feel like you're empowered because other people are less authentic and vulnerable with you. So that would be something that you would really watch out. I think that Saturn in Aquarius has caused a little bit of that for Scorpios. That square would have made you want to like just really demonstrate who you are and really demonstrate the strength of your character. And now I think that you have to maybe be more understanding of people. Anything relating to charities, anything relating to donations or supporting group efforts, supporting people who are vulnerable, okay? And that actually helping your own vulnerability is a good point of this transit. But I do feel that it has to be more hands-on. So some people can just do it with money. Yeah, you can just like donate to charities. But I feel that it might be actually better to be working with charities or to be actually helping people or actually using your time with it instead of like money. I feel that the money thing for Scorpio is not something that I would make any huge choices with during Saturn in Pisces. There are some Scorpios who have to, but I would limit it as much as you can. And I wouldn't place as much faith or strength into the monetary construct during this time. And I would try to kind of just like make that stuff foundational for you. What I mean is like, it can be interesting for some Scorpio to delegate it. So having like an advisor or having someone like managing what you have, that's not going to be recommended for other Scorpios, but you get what I mean, like not having to deal with it all the time. Anything, not just money, but like also with like business or career or any of, Saturnian stuff, right? Can take a hit during Saturn in Pisces because the sign of Pisces just doesn't really function economically like this. So you really don't want to be operating emotional with your business, with your money, making emotional purchases, anything like that. Also things that you think like show how powerful you are. So that can be like really expensive jewelry, certain types of clothing, cars, things that we think make other people see us a certain way is a waste during this time. Although some of you will also just naturally have a level up there, but try to not be coping with your expression. Okay, so I think if I wear this, or if I drive this, or if I have this kind of house, that people are finally going to respect me. It doesn't work that way with Saturn in Pisces. Saturn in Pisces distorts that hierarchy system a little bit. So you might do even better taking things down a notch. So driving like a more economical car or living in a more economical area might actually lead you to having more like support than having, the luxury vehicle and the mansion.
I got us coming up, baby girl.
Hello there, Capricorn, and welcome to your Oracle messages. I hope you guys are doing well out there. So Capricorn, okay, what is this? All right, break free. You guys got to just try something different.
Secret Shaman, Capricorn. She dropped Capricorn and Aries, so after Capricorn be Aries.
Here. Okay? And also, some of you guys, some type of breakthrough is headed your way, so don't worry, Capricorn. Okay, these are just talking right now. God, goodness gracious. Yeah, stay positive here. Look at this. Okay, Capricorn. You need to surround yourself with positive situations and people. You need to avoid negativity at all costs right now, because this is about you guys receiving a dream come true or a wish come true, or something that is really going to make you feel that a miracle has actually occurred in your life. You know, there's something about just biding your time and just waiting patiently. But during that time, avoid negativity, okay? And stay optimistic. I'm getting like 3 of Wands energy coming through too, Capricorn. So I feel that a lot of you guys have been doing something in the past here. So Spirit is saying what you guys need to see in your material world will arrive, okay? Break free from negative people too for some of you guys, or something that could just be draining or, you know, confusing you for some of you Capricorns. Let's see what else you guys need to know about your situation, Capricorn. And also, whenever you get to this video and it resonates for you, then it's meant for you, okay? What else for Capricorn? Yeah, see? 3 of Wands. There it is. And the 6 of Wands. Oh my goodness. Okay, you guys are really, okay, oh my goodness. You guys are, oh my goodness. This is so weird. It's almost like these 3 cards here in a way. Got the 3 of fire, 6 of fire. We got the 3 of Wands, 6 of Wands, and the 9 of Cups. You are getting a wish fulfillment here. Oh my goodness. Stay optimistic. Your dreams really are coming true. Don't quit right before the miracle occurs here. Okay? I mean, look at this. There's something that's precious and you know, solid coming into your life here, a true gem. Okay, so I was talking to you, I was picking up the 3 of Wands energy, and here it is, Capricorn. So Spirit is saying, you know, stay focused on future here and what's you know, don't go too far in the future, but you know, we got our head facing the future here. Forward, we're moving forward. And I love that these are both in like some type of ship here, because we're sailing through it. Okay, so Spirit is saying a lot of you guys really have earned a spot too, because I am seeing for some of you, if you're not feeling like you're in the spotlight, well, you may be coming into like being noticed more, having more status or influence, and basking in that limelight. So do it, okay? And also listen to your inner light, because it is guiding you guys towards better situations, okay? And there's something here about you guys really feeling prosperous as well. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see. What else for Capricorn? See? My goodness, Capricorn, new abundance and exciting opportunities wash over you now. It's like happening here. I mean, look at this diamond here too. Okay, we got a lot of abundance here. Okay, so some type of resource, material needs, money, okay? What you guys need is coming through. So this is why Spirit is saying it's important to avoid negativity right now, okay? I feel like this card wants to show itself too. Let's see what it is. Okay. Don't be challenged by the past. And Spirit is saying a lot of you guys are seeing something, or to just stay in a state of observation right now and pay attention to what's going on. A lot of you Capricorns are really breaking free from a challenging situation or person or people here, okay? And that there's nothing that you guys can't handle. And in fact, some of you guys, you know, just know that whatever has happened or whatever you've gone through, you're going to land on your feet regardless, okay? And also be willing to, you know, have a beginner's mind for you guys with this Page of Air. Okay, some of you, this could be about you too. try different ventures and experiences here. So there may be something that we're watching or observing that could be hooking us up into the past or disappointing things, okay? Avoid gossip as well, I want to say, for some of you guys. Not all of you, but just, you know, be willing to give dreams right now and nothing else, because this is about avoiding negativity. What else for Capricorn? And also, Capricorn, this is a general reading, so if you find the messages don't resonate for you at all, check your moon, your rising, or your Venus signs, or feel free to check out past messages as well. Those are all timeless. Okay, so you even have to watch yourself here in your own thoughts, right? Yeah, this is that page of air situation, like just some challenging thoughts here, but it's important to only think about what you guys desire, okay? Not what you fear, not what you're, right? And break free, you know, from this maybe mental cycle for some of you. What else for Capricorn? Okay, we got, yes, you guys are going to find your way around the situation. And we do have a thing about you guys feeling stable with others or another here, and really having that sense of tribe, okay? So some of you Capricorns, there's something about, you know, hesitation here that could be a bit of a challenge for some of you, okay? So I would say that a lot of you Capricorns just need to maybe find out more information if you need to, or some of you, you may even get some type of truth, or you may have seen something here that will help you guys. But I would say that there's something that Spirit says you don't need to hesitate when it comes to something stable, and when it comes to connection, okay, or connecting with others that will feel like a, you know, tribe for you. Yeah, look at this. This is about Spirits helping you guys, okay? And some of you Capricorns, there could be something here with major wealth, have a big business, or just, you know, big boss type of energy, or just, you know, really wealthy here. So Spirit is saying, you know, watch your thoughts, do what you guys need to do to keep your faith strong. There may be something here with some of you guys with your faith and religion, but you know, stick with what's, you know, that's true for you, and what is, for some of you, yeah, there may be something here with, yeah, breaking free from different, oh my goodness, for some of you guys, yeah, I feel that there is a sense of really doing things different here, okay? Maybe not so traditional, but then again, I do feel some of you Capricorns, you really do honor a tradition, and, you know, and that's what works for you. But I do see that there's something about you guys having that sense of community and bond here, okay? And I do sense some type of new commitment as well. Let's get a little bit more with the Hierophant. We got Taurus energy coming through. Give us a little bit more with the Stag, with Hierophant. Wow, yeah. Oh my goodness. Whoa. Talking about big boss type of energy. Look at this. We got the Emperor here. Some of you Capricorns, I mean, you're really made to be, you know, someone like a spiritual guide here, or just have something that is very traditional and structured, that's organized, especially when it comes to your own spirituality, or maybe, you know, for others. But I am seeing something else here going on when it comes to tribe and stability. I mean, this is stability. So some of you guys might be drawing in an Emperor type of energy, the Hierophant. So, and maybe even you're praying for this, or praying for someone, and Spirit is hearing it, okay? But we've got Aries energy coming through. Some of you, you know, don't be afraid right now to really take control and be in charge of a situation, okay? We got some type of divine partnership as well for some of you Capricorns that's coming into play here. So yeah, stay true to your path, okay? And higher forces are watching over you. What else for Capricorn? Okay. Yeah, here's Ace of Pentacles, waves of prosperity, new abundance, and exciting opportunities wash over you right now. So this isn't a joke here. Look at this. Prosperity, Ace of Pentacles, divine gifts. Oh my goodness. There's something strong here with a strong commitment, okay, with yourself, with spirit, and with someone too, if that's what you want. Or some of you guys, it's all you know, you could be already with someone, right? But the most important thing is that you guys are drawing in some type of new abundance here. We've got Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy coming through. There's some type of wise investment as well for you guys, okay? So there's some type of big gift coming from the divine for you. Stay optimistic. Your dreams are coming true here. What else for Capricorn? Make a wish. Oh my goodness. Look at this. 9 of Cups. This is, okay. The 9 of Cups is making a wish card here. Having your wishes fulfilled and granted. This is a magical moment, so make a wish and enjoy the manifestation or its manifestation. And this is no joke because the Ace of Pentacles is a solid manifestation, okay? This is real. Ooh. What else for Capricorn? The Fool's card. You know, this is like kind of like this whole break free, right? Some of you guys allow yourself to be free spirited and not bound by anything, okay? Because I do see for some of you, there's something about you guys breaking free from like, you know, restrictions or traditions that just don't fit you, right? Because you're feeling challenged by it. But here we go. Try different ventures and experiences as a way to grow and learn and trust in your own freedom here and be childlike, okay? Spirit wants you guys to open yourself up and possibly, too, to take a risk because I was getting something about some of you guys hesitating here about a situation thing or someone, okay? Be willing to try something new and different and exciting. What else? Okay. Delight in the powdered gold sunshine. Oh my goodness. This is about you guys feeling really good. Maybe for some of you guys, there could be something here with vacation or just relaxing in the sun a little bit or taking more time to relax. Because, yeah, persevere. Leave no stone unturned here. There's something about you guys really persevering. And that's what I'm seeing with this like 3 of Wands, you know. We're persevering. We're moving forward. Okay, and gaining momentum as we do. And a lot of you guys are having some type of victory or you're going to come into some type of like victory. I do see a strong thing about like, you know, just a wave of like money here too. Okay. Leave no stone unturned. And we even have this like card of, you know, the Fool's card of wonder, right? So get curious, start looking at things with new eyes, okay? Start with a beginner's mind, like that page of air here. And persevere, especially when it comes to breaking free and trying new ventures. What else for Capricorn? So we have a quantum leap in a new direction. Oh my gosh, Capricorn, okay, wow, this is so cool because actually, oh, this is like the first ladybug I've seen in the series here for you, okay? You guys are going to have some quantum leap when it comes to good luck and moving into a good and new direction here. Fortune, gratification, wishes. Ooh, and we even have fortune right here with that Ace of Pentacles, the waves of prosperity here. Oh my goodness. And do have a maternal energy and a father energy here as well. So I see something strong here with, you know, having what matters for you come to fruition here. You know, family, connection, whatever it is for you, okay? Traditions, spirituality. I mean, ooh. So don't be afraid, for some of you guys, of, you know, where you're headed. Even if you can't see everything clearly, it will be very clear for you, okay? Because you guys are going to get and see exactly what you need. What else for Capricorn? Take time to relax. Oh my goodness, look at this. We have like 2 cards about relaxing and tranquility here. So yeah, be sure that to take some time. Enjoy solitude as well, right? Some of you guys, you may need to take better care of yourself, or, you know, learn how to, okay? Make sure that you guys do that, because as you guys do that and do that self-care, it will help you with this inner strength of persevering and to stay strong on your path. What else? I just love this Make-A-Wish, and we got that ladybug right there. That's so cute. What else for Capricorn? You know what? We had this mother, and now we got the father here. So Capricorn, you're going to increase your power as you give any father-related issues to heaven, okay? So whatever has gone on here, or whatever's gone on growing up, or maybe for some of you guys, it could be a partner, or it could just be a strong masculine influence in your life. Be willing to give it to the heavens here, okay? So that you guys can increase your personal power. And also, I just get more of this as like emperor type of energy here too. So there is a strong like father type of energy coming through here. Let's get a little bit more with this father healing as well. I want a little bit more with this. Give us a little bit more with father healing for Capricorn. Okay, yeah. So I feel a lot of you guys are understanding something when it comes to your personal power and doing what you need to do. I feel like I said that. Fill in the gaps with the new routine. Anyhow, yeah, fill in the gaps with the new routine. Because there's something about you guys maybe just letting something go and releasing it and having forgiveness. So we have a clean slate here, just like that Fool's card, breaking free from hurts of the past or disappointments of the past as well, so that we can increase our personal power here. So some of you guys, there may be something for some of you that, you know, be willing to get some exercise if you're not exercising. You know, that's fun for you, that can be energetic for you, right? This is about you guys getting your personal power here. What else for Capricorn? Yeah, see this alone time as preparation time, so don't worry, Capricorn, okay? Yes, you guys can hear the unspoken word, but this is the thing. You're hearing messages from Spirit, and you're hearing stuff from your higher self as well, okay? So you can hear the unspoken word. Also, okay, the most painful part about change is resistance to change, right? And we want to feel liberated from that. We want freedom from that, okay? Change is good for you, because we're getting a wish from it here. So seize alone time as preparation time. Look, we even had this card about much needed self-care, okay? What else for Capricorn? Oh, yes, you guys do need to take care. Oh, you guys are hard workers too. My goodness. Some of you guys may be really enjoying your work, but it could be burning you out. And there may be something here for some of you guys with, you know, seeing things through completion and persevering, but make sure that you are taking some time out, because we got like 2 cards of like, you know, work and earthly matters here, okay? But, you know, ambition is a good servant, but a bad master. So some of you guys, you'd be willing to kind of rise up and look and see maybe where we need to weed out something, you know, or just becoming a burden for you, and that's not inspiring you anymore, or that you feel is just, you know, weighing you down. And you guys really are learning a lot too. Some of you guys are really learning from the past what, you know, where you've burnt yourself out. But I I feel a lot of you guys are doing something that you should be proud of. And yes, you guys are mastering it. And this is a time of real craftsmanship. Okay. But some of you be willing to look up and see the big picture of what's going on too. Okay. Don't drown yourself into too much work or your passions, because that could really make you feel tired. Okay. Okay, let's see what else you guys need to know, Capricorn. Courage. When picking up the roses, don't fear the thorns. You know, I'm glad that that came out, because I don't know if I said this, but I was looking at the Emperor here and I was just noticing the lion. I was thinking of the Strength card here. So Leo energy is coming through here. So I do feel that a lot of you guys, you know, Spirit is saying you're a lot stronger than you realize. I mean, you really are showing up as this Emperor, someone who is in charge, that can take charge, and also fearless. Okay. You know, when you're picking those roses, don't be afraid of the thorns, okay? Have courage. What else for Capricorn? Yeah, Capricorn, I feel a lot of you guys know that there's something better for you. So some of you guys, you need to just avoid negativity at all cost. Some of you guys just don't engage in a situation where you feel like you have to battle with someone. Okay, we do have the 5 of air, so I do feel that there has been something weighing heavy on some of you guys. Okay, but with this 4 of wands, I'm seeing something about you guys spending time alone, seeing this alone time as preparation time here. So maybe spend some time at home or an environment that you guys feel safe and secure here. Okay. There may be something going on with a commitment, maybe even home environment here. I want a little bit more with the 5 of air though for you, Capricorn. We got Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and also Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Some of you guys, I can see some of you Capricorns feeling really hurt and betrayed by a commitment that went south here, right? Maybe you dealt with someone who you didn't trust or who's lost their trust with you. I want a little bit more with the 5 of air for Capricorn. Yeah, see? Told you. You're messing with deception and manipulating energy. Stay back. It's just like, you know, don't engage in it. Don't engage in it. It might tempt you too. Some of you, it might tempt you. I was going to call you guys Aries. Maybe you guys do have Aries placements in your chart. You're messing with deception and manipulating energy. Stay back, right? We're just going to gracefully just kind of fly over it and not worry about it, okay? By, you know, doing things that you want to do, Capricorn. Look at that. Do what you want, okay? Stay committed to yourself and make sure. I'm just seeing something about Capricorn making, you know, yeah, I just feel that there's something about you guys maybe staying in a place or doing something or making sure that you're in a situation where you do feel protected. This just like when you're at home, okay, safe at your home or something like that, okay? So that you're not engaging in some BS here with that 5 of swords. What else for Capricorn? Also, some of you Capricorns, there could be someone that's an emotional manipulator as well that's trying to hold you back and very demanding on you. And yeah, Spirit is saying you guys may need to rise up and kind of look around and see what's really going on, okay? Yeah, don't settle either. Do not settle. Some of you might be tempted to settle. Increase your standards and expect more for yourself. Don't settle. Set your sights higher, okay? And because Spirit is gifting you guys a dream and a wish come true here. What else? Oh my gosh, the King of Fire. Wow. There is someone here too. Someone that's like got a lot of passion here. I am seeing something that a lot of you Capricorns are going to have to be courageous in too, right? It's just like fight the fear, but do it anyway. But I do see something here about a partner for some of you guys with this King of Fire. This is someone who's really passionate. Maybe they have their eyes on you already, okay? But also, keep your eyes on the prize, because this is what I'm getting with this Three of Wands, is you guys staying focused on your, you know, your visions, your dreams, your long-term goals here, and seeing it through completion, because it will happen. Okay. And also for some of you guys, you're drawing in a person here, very passionate, could be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, doesn't have to be, but the sun, they got this like halo of sun around them too. So it could be someone that definitely has a lot of personality, charisma. They could be a leader in their field here, okay? But they're definitely going to be passionate, and passionate for you. Let's see. Yeah, we'll just put it there. What else for Capricorn? Yeah, I just see some of you Capricorns, it's like Spirit is leading you guys to a very stable situation and person here, if that's what you guys are, you know, wanting and desiring. But, you know, you're also doing something here with yourself, which is good. Oh my gosh. Nine of Wands. Yeah, resilience. I mean, we had this card of persevere, bravery. Leave no stone unturned here. Yeah, I feel like some of you guys, Spirit is saying, yeah, maybe for some, you know, it's going to feel like work, but, you know, just see things through completion, and then make sure that you guys take time to rest here, but persevere, because Spirit is saying we have manifestation, and you may need to utilize your own willpower, but, I mean, we got Magician, and we have Make a Wish. This is a magical moment. Look, yeah, Magician here. This is a magical moment. So watch your thoughts, stay optimistic, set your sights higher as well, okay? And some of you guys, you're really just going to have to guard yourself against, you know, be like that scorpion and just sting them if you need to. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, you got to be resilient here from certain situations or things right now, okay? Don't give up is really important. Don't give up. Some of you guys just do what you can to stay focused, you know, whatever you got to do. All right, let's see what else for Capricorn. Explore your options. It's time to try something different. Look at different possibilities. It's a good time to make changes, right? Fill in the gaps with a new routine. Maybe you want to learn something, do something. Maybe there's a hobby. Whatever it is, explore your options. You have the right to, okay? We got the Magician here, so it's like the world is your oyster, okay? Fool's card. Feeling that freedom to do what you want when you want to, okay? And feeling safe to do so. That's what's important, is that you're feeling safe to do so. What else for Capricorn? Oh, some of you Capricorns got maybe some drama at home here too. So I'm seeing you kind of like needing some space here for some of you guys. Make sure you do that. Oh, look, Temperance. Patience and divine energy, perfect harmony and miracles. Okay, look at this. This card is saying, don't quit right before the miracle occurs. And here's another showing you that a miracle is occurring in your life here, okay? It's all happening with divine timing here. Make sure too that, you know, you're honoring yourself and balancing yourself in all aspects of your life as much as possible, okay? And just put a smile on your face. I just see this manta ray just smiling no matter what's going on. Just, you know, whatever. I'm not going to give into that or this. I'm just going to kind of be even keel and just, you know, do my own thing and have patience here, okay? You do have something that is happening when it comes to integrating and creating a new reality, okay? All these cards. All right, Sagittarius energy is coming through here. Okay, let's see. What else for Capricorn? I feel like we should see these. Yep. Innocence and gentleness, appreciation, Fool's card here. Be gentle with yourself and others. You guys are healing from emotional storm, a heartbreak here with that Three of Swords. But guess what? I love this because this card right here with this Three of Swords, your freedom from strife. Look at that. It's like you're just flying over it. okay? And that's exactly what you're doing. Oh my gosh, look, blue bird, and look, you're flying over it, dancing over it, like flying and dancing over it, okay? But you guys may need to seek some solitude and be gentle with yourself, okay? Because Spirit is giving you guys some type of illumination here and finding exactly the answers that you guys need, okay? Maybe some of you guys, why am I saying something about, what's that saying? Wolf in sheep's clothing or something like that? Maybe that's what some of you guys felt like. Maybe you felt like you got fooled here by someone. Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyhow, surround yourself with positive people, okay? You're making a difference in your life right now by making good and great choices for yourself, right? And being honest with yourself of what you truly deserve. What else for Capricorn? Now, some of you Capricorns are probably too, there was some of you guys, maybe somebody withdrew or ghosted or something like that. For some of you, not all of you. That could have been a heartbreak there too. What else for Capricorn? Don't give in to fear, Capricorn. You remember your thoughts. Look at this. What you desire, not what you fear. Okay, you need to think about what you desire, not what you fear. And just remember that fear is an acronym for false experiences appearing real. Okay? And you don't need to give into it. Okay? Because look at this. You're powerful. And you're strong. What else for Capricorn? Five of Earth, Capricorn. Wow. Don't fear abandonment. Don't fear that you guys are going to lose things here. You guys are going to be comforted, okay? Trust me. I know right now it's not comfortable. I feel some of you actually do have Aries placements in your chart. You may even resonate with Aries reading in this series, okay? Spirit is going to bring you guys new hope, new blessings, something in your material realm to make you guys feel comfortable, okay? Because it's Five of Pentacles. We feeling a lack of, okay? We're feeling alone as well. You may even be feeling alone in the world, but you're not, okay? Your angels are among you. Persevere, stay strong, okay? And don't worry. This is your opportunity that you are spending some time to explore your options. What else for Capricorn? Yeah, some of you guys might be feeling like a financial pinch as well. And so you need to know that finances will improve. And now we got Empress. I love it. Abundance. See, that maternal energy is coming through. Fertility and creativity. Yeah, believe in miracles. Okay. And believe in abundance. And believe what you guys really know that you deserve. And I do see something about, much needed care here. But I love that we have this strong, like, masculine energy, the magician, that's this powerful co-creating with spirit here and gifting you guys a lot of creative things to give birth to. Some of you, there could be, maybe some of you guys, there is a focus on, family or children for some, okay? And maybe some of you guys, I'm seeing something about fertility. So unless you want to have little humans, you may need to be careful, okay? But just take that part if it resonates. But I am seeing you guys feeling good about your life and feeling full and comfortable. Oh, and guess what we have? Yeah, I am seeing a strong love situation here, actually, for a lot of you Capricorns, too. So a partner here. Or something being strong in a partnership, because we got the mother and the father. We got the emperor and the empress here, okay? Let's see, what else for Capricorn? Okay, Capricorn, your realness is rare, and you're aligning with your true self. Yeah, you're aligning with your true self and your purpose here. I just see this about you guys really seeing what seeing what you are feeling called to, like your destiny here and what's pulling you. Be wary, jealousy surrounds you. Temptation can lead astray. Oh my goodness. See, look at that Five of air. There's something going on here where some of you guys may be picking this up too, but don't give into it, right? Just know, be cautious, you know, and maybe, you know, do what you guys got to do. But you know, your realness is real. That's another thing that people might be jealous of here. Okay, do your own thing and don't be afraid. I just, you know, was going. Oh, the Hermit. You're a wise one. And never forget that you are aligning with your true self and purpose. I mean, this is about you guys really navigating yourself in the right direction. And I love this because I do see with this Hierophant and the Emperor and the Empress that your realness is rare.
That's right. Ain't no future
But
friend.
be careful too, okay? Temptation can lead astray here, right? So we don't want to go going backwards. What else for Capricorn? Yeah, marking territory, impenetrable defense, and caution. Oh my goodness, see, temptation can lead astray, and also, you know, be wary, jealousy could surround you. So some of you guys don't get charged up or react to those things. That might challenge some of you, okay? But just know that you guys really are marking your own territory, and that's what I'm seeing, you guys just being really strong and, you know, like you've earned your position or you're coming into a position of authority and respect, okay? So, you know, I was getting this thing about, you know, some of you guys just, you know, you got to be resilient here, right? Impenetrable defense here. Yeah, because I just feel that some of you guys, you're going to be tested by that Five of Swords energy, or for some, you've already, you know, you've already been through it, but you need to stay strong because it's still possibly not done. What else? Plan and act on what you see coming, but stay mindful in the present moment. Look, this is this Magician card. So, you know, stay focused and don't let things distract you. Just plan and act on what you see coming right now, but then just stay mindful in the present moment, okay? There's things that Spirit wants you to see and grab onto when it comes here. What else for Capricorn? Ah, what is this? Transformation. Wow. Scorpio energy is coming through here. So this is about your guys' transformation, right? Breaking free, trying new, different different ventures and experiences, right? Breaking free here and enjoying what's happening with you and your transformation. I just want to bring this one thing up too, because this is the Death card here. So, you know, if you resist change, that's what's going to keep it painful for you, right? So we just have to accept it as it is. And a lot of you are, okay? A lot of you are. And this is a very sacred transformation for you. And what I like is I'm seeing something about a release here. You know, release, breaking free. A release, breaking free. Yeah, some of you guys might actually be seeing some patterns, and I'm just seeing a lot of you guys being wise and being able to just kind of not let it bother you at all, because you already knew it was coming, or you can just see the pattern for what it is. What else for Capricorn? Have faith. Oh my goodness, look at this is that Hierophant. Have faith. Yes. Higher forces are in charge and taking over now. Your prayers are manifesting. Look at that Magician card. Okay? Your dreams are coming true. Stay optimistic. Remain positive and follow your guidance. Okay? You're like almost there. You really are. Okay, I don't know. Let's see. We'll put that there. What else for Capricorn? Yeah, patience and silence is your ally of this time. Okay, don't that whole thing. Some of you guys, you might be tested here. Okay, just be patient, and you don't have to say much either. Okay, just be quiet because your dreams are manifesting. So patience and silence is your ally. And we even had temperance, which is the card of patience. What else? There's something about some of you Capricorns just really appreciating where you're at right now, okay? That a lot of you guys really have overcome some type of real challenges and struggles. And this is not going to break you. It's actually going to make you a whole lot stronger, more than you even know. Oh, wow, this one, oh, look at this. This really want to show itself. So past life experiences are playing out in this lifetime. Oh my gosh. This is why some of you guys, you kind of know what's going on too with that, the hermit here, with the sage, the wise one, okay? Past life experiences are playing out right now. So don't give in to the past situations and patterns, okay? Watch for those patterns, because I was getting something about you guys knowing something is a cycle or a pattern here, okay? And not engaging in it. What else for Capricorn? Yeah, look at this. Yes, you and your loved ones and your possessions are safe and protected by heaven, Capricorn, okay? So believe in your transformation, or believe in the changes, okay? Accept things as they are. And what's unfolding is going to be better than what you expected. What else for Capricorn? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. We got a past life situation going on here. Okay, so you're fulfilling a conquest that was unfinished in a past life. Oh my goodness, and we even have this card. Past life experiences are playing out in this lifetime. See, there's something that is driving you guys for these changes. You need to honor that and be strong, because you are a true spiritual warrior. Okay, you really are, Capricorn. You're a badass. Past life experiences are playing out. So there was something that was unfinished that you're feeling and sensing, okay? And you're going to conquer it and have victory in this lifetime. This is a big thing for you. So it's important to keep releasing until you guys don't have any emotions to it, okay? Let go of it, or try to detach yourself from emotions that may try to hang on to you, okay? Just keep releasing until you don't feel any emotions about it, or just, take your time to honor your emotions and let them be, but let yourself heal from it, okay? Because you guys are attracting something and someone towards you that is very, spiritual and divine here. What else for Capricorn? Oh my God! I told you you're I told you you're a badass. I was telling you you're a spiritual warrior. Yes. See, Spirit knows. Sometimes it's not easy to be a spiritual gangster, okay? Because we're following our guidance, because we're that strong in our pursuit. You're a badass. I love it. Yes, it's not easy to be a spiritual gangster. I know. I know, Capricorn, I know. And I really appreciate where you guys are at, okay? And I appreciate what you've done, because it hasn't been easy for you, and I know that. What else for Capricorn?
That's my name. That's my new name. Empress, Goddess, Spiritual G, which is Spiritual Gangster.
Okay, learn how to accept compliments and gifts fully, Capricorn. So this is a time where you need to feel recognized, appreciated. Some of you guys, you may not realize that you have a lot more influence than you know, or you're inspiring others more than you know. But with this Three of Wands and Six of Fire, I mean, come on, recognition here, getting rewarded. Learn how to accept compliments and gifts fully, though. Okay, take them. Don't push them away. Don't make them little, okay? Just take them and love them and be thankful, because you're opening up the floodgates of receiving more good things to come. All right, what is this card?
Y'all excuse me, try to eat a little something, but I just can't make it up. Me and Destiny's Capricorn was just talking about this earlier in the when I first started the live. The same thing that you just said. Go back and rewatch.
Oh yeah, don't. Let's go back to the Five of Swords with this, and then I'm liking what I'm seeing with the Four of Wands, because I'm seeing you and your own thing and not allowing people to take your time and your energy. Because look at this, I told you there may be something here with someone or people just emotionally manipulating you or making you feel bad. Don't allow others to be greedy for your attention and your time. Or excuse me, yeah, attention and your time, your attention and your emotions, right? You need to say no. For some of you guys, say no. What else for Capricorn? Capricorn. Oh my God. It's the Nine of Cups. It's the Nine of Cups again. Oh. All right. You guys might feel like your world went backwards or upside down, but you need to stay positive and have faith that your prayers are being answered and things are manifesting. Wishes granted. Okay. Satisfaction. Right. Some of you guys, maybe just for some Capricorns, you dealt with someone that was very prideful, or we may need to just watch for our own pride, okay? Because for some of you Capricorns, I do see a lot of you guys being like big achievers here, but that one message with be wary of jealousy surrounds you. Yeah, maybe for some, just, use humility or I guess modesty here, okay, if you can, for the time being. But I don't know. The thing is I do feel that some of you guys need to really be in the limelight, though. Okay, so just don't give your time and your energy to it. Just be focused on the good things in life, okay? But if there's some weird shit going on with people, it's because they're jealous of you, okay? And they might just be masking that. Okay, what else for Capricorn? Yeah, money and finances is going to improve. Yep. You can see it all over the cards here. Okay, so just trust. Some of you guys with that Five of Pentacles, I'm seeing maybe some, financial pinches or just, having to incur a loss or losses here. Or some of you guys just know that your money is improving regardless, okay? What else for Capricorn? Seven of Earth. Patience is going to be your guys' challenge right now, even though most of you guys are patient. But Spirit is saying things are, ripening in your life. Capricorn, Seven of Earth here. So we're harvesting what we've done in the past. Maybe some of you Capricorns have already worked, and you just need to be willing to, harvest your abundance and feel good about where you guys are at and enjoy it, okay? I want a little bit more with the Seven of Pentacles for Capricorn. We've got Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy coming through here. Give us a little bit more with the Seven of Pentacles for Capricorn. Okay. I was kind of getting this feeling about some of you guys harvesting what you have now and, not being afraid to start over, okay? Starting over will not stunt your growth. Because some of you guys, you've done all you can, right? Or some of you, you're reevaluating. You're just kind of like, you know what? I just don't want to do that anymore, whatever it is. Or maybe it's time to start a new garden, right? Or, metaphorically or maybe real, I don't know. But anyhow, starting over will not stunt your growth. So don't be afraid to, okay? You got what it takes. You really do, because I do see some of you guys like, look at something is just too much, right? And you know it. Don't be afraid to start over, okay? Don't. What else? Spirit's going to replace what's missing, by the way, and exercise is essential right now. I think I was talking about exercise with you guys, wasn't I? I was pretty sure. So yes, it's coming out. Exercise is essential. Exercise is essential right now. And remember we were talking about you being a spiritual gangster. Oh my goodness, Capricorn, I just love you guys' energy. You're a very rare and unique soul. You know that, okay? You're a badass.
Just period.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, let's go back to this. And also people that are trying to be greedy for your time and attention. Now, some of you Capricorns need to watch what you're doing too, because I do see the Page of Swords here. So some of you guys might be spying and observing, and that's just wasting your time because you're giving that to them.
That energy, exactly.
So look at this, 10 of Wands. Don't be a slave to the past, money, and people. And this is what you guys are learning, or you've learned this, right? So don't be afraid to let go of what you guys are. That's not serving you. I come back with Aries later on. You guys feel like things aren't flowing. I got something else I want to play here. So don't be a slave to that past and that money and those people. Because your inheritance and your money is coming from the heavens above, okay? With white buffalo and the Hierophant. What else? Why was I hearing something about don't be too extreme either? I was getting that, Capricorn. There's something about not being too extreme. Okay, so maybe sit with that and think about that.
The esoteric translation of symbols, and who better to talk to that about than with Jordan Maxwell, who is joining me here. He is needs no introduction, really, professor, lecturer of symbology, researcher, author. Jordan joins me here. Hello, Jordan.
Yeah, hello there, Bruce. Good to be with you.
Good to have you on. I just got through watching your riveting series, The Secret Life of Symbols. How fun was it to film that?
They were very, very nice. It was very interesting to be able to do that at Gaia. It was done at Gaia, and my friend Jay Widener was the producer at Gaia, and he got me the job to do those. And from what I gather, my series that I did on that symbol series is the highest rated on the Gaia network.
Yeah, I've seen it. Lot of good feedback, a lot of thumbs up.
Yeah, a lot of thumbs up. It was the highest rated because I did 11 different videos, 11 different shows, and each one was the one that got the least likes was 93% likes was the least.
That doesn't sound so bad.
Yeah, and so it was like 96, 97 likes, 98 likes, 98% likes, 97% likes, and so the least I got on the whole series was 93% likes. So all of my shows were in the 90, from the mid to high 90% likes, which I thought was very incredible. I thought that was astounding that I got that kind of a response because of the shows that we were doing. I didn't think people were going to really understand them very well, but it turned out the people liked it.
They love it. They want more of it. You're going to be up there competing with the Disney Plus app. They just launched that. No, it's just as good as anything they could put out. And what's crazy? All these Disney movies, the latest, Marvel movies, they had a god that's based off of the Greek gods, Titanos, get his head cut off. I mean, that's kind of racy for a Disney movie. Now they're showing decapitations. I think the Saudis took them over or something.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Well, Disney is involved in a lot of dark stuff right now. You have no idea how much dark stuff Disney is into. They're into a lot of communist subversion, Soviet communism crap that they are promoting, and their television shows.
Oh yeah,
and movies.
if I may, the Iron Man symbolism, Iron Man, and they show the obvious hammer and sickle and the red and yellow colors in one, and of course, they're into the magic. I see them promoting Thor now, the comic book, Odin, Thor. They're just letting it all out.
That's precisely my point, that they are heavily involved in the Illuminati secret society propaganda to propagandize America's youth and prepare them for a communist world takeover.
Yes.
And it's incredible how overwhelming and in your face their stuff really is.
It's insane, Jordan. I was on a plane and I put on the new Lion King, right? And in the old Lion King, they say dawn of a new era, dawn of a new day, the villain. And then the villain goes on and he rallies up a bunch of hyenas like he's Hitler, Scar, and they have a full-out Nazi scene where they're marching in unison like they're the Waffen SS. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And then there's an actual sex scene in the Lion King.
That's what I'm talking about. There's all kinds of hidden political, subversive, communistic, Marxist, Leninist, communistic, and Nazi philosophy and Nazi symbolism in the movies and television shows, and especially that television series a couple of years ago called V. Do you remember it? The V, the TV series V?
I remember seeing the promos,
Yeah, well, boy, that thing is jam-packed with communist propaganda right out of the Lenin School of Politics.
Oh, yeah.
The old Lenin School of Politics in Soviet Union that was training all the communist subversion and all the communist agents to bring it to the Western world, Marxist communism. Well, boy, it's just filled with it. And that television series that ABC did called V.
Right. But, Marvel
and it was all about how extraterrestrial aliens who coming to the earth to help mankind with his problems on the earth.
Yeah.
And when they get here, the extraterrestrials are roaming around the world. They're roaming around the earth trying to get people to follow them. And they're telling the people, here's what we're going to do for you. If you'll just follow us, here's what we're going to do for you. We're going to help you with your government, help you with your medical, we'll help you with your crime, and all these wonderful things we're going to do for you. And then they have a pamphlet.
Yeah.
In the movie, V, the extraterrestrials have a pamphlet they're handing out around the world to tell the people of the world what they're going to do for you.
Yeah.
And the name of the pamphlet was Dawn of a New Day. That's the name of the pamphlet, the Dawn of a New Day. The extraterrestrials are handing out to the world to show the world what they're going to do for us. And the pamphlet was called The Dawn of a New Day.
That's incredible. Marvel, they're up there. They're owned by Disney. And they have they're letting people know that the wars are going to be infinite because they have a movie called Infinity Wars. And again, they base it on a lot of the gods of folklore like Thor and this other god that's literally the personification of death. So he gets the glove and he's going to wipe away 50% of all living things on the universe. So that, like you said, that's their mentality, and then the alien aspects of it, or the extraterrestrial, where they have Nazis getting technology from the aliens, and then super soldiers like Captain America. He's He's a Nazi super soldier. All this was once fiction, once comic books, but it's
That's the kind of stuff
real
I'm
now.
talking about. ABC, Disney is heavily involved in promotion of dark secret society,
Yes.
occult uh, symbolism for the Communist Party, for Marxist-Leninism, for the not only the Communist Party but for the Nazi Party, and it's just overwhelming in your face when they're making movies like The Lion King.
Yes.
Lion King is an astronomical based on what Adolf Hitler was trying to accomplish. Hitler was talking about the coming of the new age, of the sun rising on the dawn of a new world order, and that's what the movie was all about.
Yeah.
Was the sun in the age of Leo the Lion King, and it has to do with astrology. It's just an incredible story about where Disney and ABC that bought Disney, or Disney bought ABC, but what Disney is really all about today
Oh yeah.
is just extraordinary stuff. They're right in your face,
Right.
telling you what they're doing. They're promoting that Marxist communism, Nazism, the world revolutionary
Oh,
movement, all kinds of dark stuff in your face. I mean, there's no way to get around it.
oh no!
The
When I was a
extra,
kid, the Rafiki, the from Lion King, there was this monkey. He's doing voodoo and summoning the dead. He's allowing the lion's son, the prince, to speak to the old king lion that was killed by his brother. It's based off of also the Lion King. I think is based off of Set and the Osiris and all the whole how Set turns on Osiris and he kills his brother. I mean, it's just, like you said, it's just in your face.
it is. It's just amazing
Yes.
what they're involving themselves in. And I mean, I had a job I was offered to be in a movie at Disney. They called and wanted to be a part of a motion picture in a movie they were making. And as because it was the kind of subject I deal with, and so they wanted me in the movie. And I went out there, and what I discovered was the guards, even the guards there, are absolutely out of control. Everything is total Nazism. It's